farmers are struggling out there to figure out what they can do with the soil out there, right? Is there enough water? How do you protect the soil out there? And by the way, I'm sure all of you also went ahead and got laptops and did something called as e-learning. Did you folks did that or not? Do you see that? But how many scholars did we get out of that? That's another topic we'll talk about. Something else, I just want to kind of put some placeholders in your mind out here, folks, because it's very important that we see the landscape of what's really there. By the way, how many of you hearing about security risk and so many companies getting breached right now? Is it reducing or is it increasing? Are we using better technology but still risks are there or not there? Increasing, okay, wonderful. And by the way, are there new businesses coming or not? By the way, I want you to focus on that number there, very interesting number. Is that a big number there? Haha. How is that now AI is going to help you transform a few things in there? Is that a stellar number out there? Do you think who's going to go build for that number? All of us. You, morely it's going to be you who's going to start doing that. Question is India ready? Today if we talk about India is one of the top countries, top 3 countries as far as AI competitiveness is there, right? We have the India AI Impact Summit, which is like a placeholder the world has sat back to see, wow, India's arrived, right? But have we? So let's talk about a few of those things. Now what are some of the advantages that we folks have? We talked about what is possible, let's talk about why we can do a lot of things, right? Why we can get to that. Largest population, young population, cool. And by the way, guys, please don't misconstrue, I'm not promoting, but that's the book which I wrote about 2 years back. And at that point in time, the number of startups that we had was about 1 lakh. And today it is 2.2 odd lakhs startups. How many years? 1.5, 2 years? That's what we are really looking at. Today we have got the benefit of something called as a digital infrastructure, great. But there is a catalyst that is missing to help to get us there. There is something which is missing. Today, a lot of questions are being asked. What are the questions being asked today? Arey, great. How will India get there? How? The question is how? So let's talk about that question how. We address this aspect in terms of how, what we're going to basically go ahead and do. It is for us to now start making an impact in years. Having said this, I want to kind of take you on to the, let me just see if this clicker works. Cool. This works. So we talked about the big number. This is not about sales. This is about telling you the opportunity. Where are we today? 22 billion. Where we need to get to? Aha, interesting. And do you see that number out there in between? What does it say? You know what is that? Consistent year-on-year growth. Have you heard of any industry who does that kind of growth? Milind? Madam sitting out there? How many companies even aspire to get somewhere out there, right? And what does that tell you? Can you see that? Is that crazy? Where are the jobs everybody talks about? There are the jobs. How are you going to fill that gap up, folks? And for which we need people with all kinds of skills, right? Do you see an opportunity for yourself? Can I hear a yes or a no? I can't hear you. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Get some energy. Folks, if you see you are there, who's going to get that? Now question is, while you put all that energy, let me share something on the other side. You heard of UPI? All of you use UPI? Yes? Can I hear a yes? Let's hear some yeses now. Right? You folks use yes? By the way, when it started in the year 2016, that's about 10 years ago, everybody was skeptical. I'm not going to talk about the skeptics. Did we have the numbers what we are doing today? How many numbers are we doing? We're doing in the order of about 20 billion transactions. Is that funny? For a country of ours, I think we are one of the highest, right? But when it started, was it so big? But it happened or not? Cool. So now let's get to something more interesting and start showing you some other insights, very interesting insights that you want to start seeing. And let's go to the next one. What do you make out of this? आजा मेरी गाड़ी में बैठ जा. What is this? Now hold on, folks. I am going to go talk about a few things in here for you to look at. Can you hear me still? Thank you. Have you heard about this? You want compute, right? All of us want compute. GPUs and everything else. Who's investing? The government is kind of starting to do a lot of good things in here. What are we talking about here? How many of you know what that full term DPI stands for? You all know what DPI stands for, correct? How many DPIs are there that we have created which touch your life every day? Milind, let me ask you this. When you're going abroad for a business meeting, you get into your cab, you book an Uber, you pay him with UPI. You don't do that, your company does that, but you pay through UPI. But you get to the airport, what happens at the airport? You have something which scans and goes through completely, that you get into that aspect of it. But by the way, somebody says, proof dikhao na. Do you show your proof or you show your phone? You got a digi locker out there? What is this? This is all at population scale. So what am I telling you? I'm telling you that a lot of these things are already available as far as you guys are concerned. And by the way, English ana mangta hai khatam. We have Bhashini as the biggest program, in which you would have read about at the India Impact Summit. There are great companies who are doing some stellar work, and by the way, people who could now do things, who only understand specific languages. These are 22 official languages are now taken up. So they are also into the fold as far as we are concerned. So do you have to worry about an audience now? Your audience is covered up as far as languages. Do you need to build this? It's there. So far, so good. You heard about this? Year of AI. This is the year of AI. The number of hackathons that these guys are starting to do for you folks out there. We also talked about multiple companies coming in and starting to do different programs, trying to engage you and get things going out there. Is it starting to make sense out here? So by the way, so is the highway ready? So what is that are we looking at? Which vehicle? What is a vehicle here? What is a vehicle here? Come on, let's hear this from you. If you have understood so far, then what is a vehicle here? Come on. No chocolate, but. How curious are you? What is your idea which will work and make an impact and add value? That is you, correct? It is your idea which will make that impact out there. And it is how curious are you? It is your interest which is going to make an impact, folks. Is this starting to make sense to you? Yes? So if you have an idea, then what will happen? Aaja meri gaadi mein baith ja. Everybody will want to use your idea. Everybody would want to use that and make sure they get benefit out of it, isn't it? Making sense? By the way, the 80-20 rule to suna hi na aapne. But what is this? What is this? Do I need to tell you about this? You guys understand what is this? Is it shocking? It is you. Arey guys, listen. If you come to your classes, I'm sorry professors and principal, please, I mean well for everybody, but I'm just trying to tell these people something very important. If you think your classes are boring, when you have to sit in front of so much of digital material which is available, who has to learn? You have to learn. Is that very interesting or is it better than your classes? It's more boring than your classes, right? When you only have to look at a screen and understand, try and make some sense out of that. Making sense? So how many people go out and start all these courses? So if you look at Some of the bigger names like Coursera, Udemy, and everybody else have got people who sign up for all courses. Even people at the Harvard, where 3,000 courses are there, you can sign up. Nothing happens. This is what happens. Do you want to be one amongst that 5? So is this telling you something? You saw the opportunity there? What do you need to do here, folks? I'm not talking about any technology, I'm not talking about any AI, I'm not talking about anything. If you apply this to AI, the same thing basically will go ahead and apply. So question is, how much are you going to start getting in? How much are you going to start going and learning? So question is, anybody can pick up these courses? As Milind also said, and we all know, na? Correct? So question right now is, if you want to get in and start making that difference and start contributing to make sure the gap is reduced and you are relevant, then you need to make sure that you are amongst those set of people who are learning and you are amongst that 20% of the users. Now what will happen? Who are these 20%? The guys who made Google, example, or the best startup companies that you can name and think about is the people who have put time, they went, dedicated themselves, kept learning, and they went deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. But by the way, now I have to say this with this tone. Here is the other story. Can somebody get me a bottle of water, please? I'll leave you guys to relish this because your dopamine is important, no? Yes or no? How much time do you spend to get the dopamine? Sandhya, how much time do you spend? How many hours? Couple? Sorry, but I have to show this to you. You know what is this equal to? 3.2 hours per day multiply by 365 म्हणजे काय? 1000 hours. Means how many days of your life? 40 days of your life. What did you do? Dopamine. Scroll, 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 scroll. What did you get out of that? Happy. But that happiness has got you a job? Is that going to take you anywhere? Or should you be doing something else? What you should do? If you are going to go ahead and body banane ke na? Mental. Acquiring new skills. You want to acquire new skills, right? Which are relevant. For which? Where do you go? What gyms are these? GitHub सुना है ना आपने? Yes or no? थोड़ा जोर से बोलो ना. Kaggle सुना है? Kaggle? How many grandmasters are we going to see in the next 5 years from this college or 3 years from this college? Possible, not possible? Can you do it? So all you need to do is the scrolling, that time that you spend, you need to shift that and make that to what? Building and improving yourself. That's all that you need to do, correct? And if you keep doing this every day, every day, every day, every day, every day, every day, where will you be after 1 year? You will become a guru, simple. You will know it better than anybody else, yes or no? But you have to do it. I can't do anything. This is the best distraction. You know who's your competition? You know who's your competition? Is your distraction. आपको वो जरूरी है. Fast food जरूरी है. Fast food. That is fast food. Correct? But इसके अंदर they say no, you should only dedicate yourself, isn't it? Can you see the analogy out here, folks? Is this making sense to you? Is that something you guys can get over very easily? I'm sure you can. I think if we are one of the brightest folks out here, then I'm sure you guys can go ahead and make a difference in here. So please start spending time getting into these different forums where you can start making a difference so that you will be amongst that 20% of people who are really going ahead and whose future is going to get better with this. Scrolling will help. Building will help. थोड़ा जोर से बोलो ना. ठीक है. If this will go back to you, whatever yes you are saying is going back. If you don't say it, na, it's like scrolling. It's the way you are. Okay, now let's get to something very interesting. I saw a slide which said we have got 12 patents. Whew. What does this tell you? What does this tell you? We are 5th in the world as a country filing patents. How much do we file? We have filed, I didn't put it there, we have filed 7 times more patents in the last couple of years than we ever did before. But by the way, you know what is that percentage there? How many you file, how many actually get cleared? Out of this number, approximately 1,000 to 1,200 are the only ones which will only be get granted. पता है कितना मेहनत करना पड़ेगा आपको? Your patent has got to be relevant. Why is this important? So by the way, what is a patent? Why a patent is important? I'm sure you guys have sessions, right? How do you protect your idea? Logical? Now as a country, how do we kind of leapfrog and do that stuff? And by the way, who is the leader in filing patents? Which country? China. How much do they file? Not much. We do how much? 86,000. They do 16 lakhs odd. Jada nahi. That's all. United States does about 5 odd lakhs. Question out here, why I wanted to put this up for you is because how do we become a nation which is advanced if we don't have something unique to talk about, right? It can not only be in one area. There is enough areas which I will talk to you about out here. And by the way, TCS is one of the companies out of India, not just because Milind is also here and he'll ratify the number, right? They do close to about 800 odd patents. I remember the day when Anant used to be there, you were starting to get into that whole process of getting patents sorted out. But today, the more patents, now things what he talked about is, folks, out of the mind, a digital twin for a nuclear reactor. Can you even imagine that? They have to patent it, no? I'm sure they would have done a lot of good work around that. It's not one patent. There will be lots of patents that one would really get along to doing that. Now, China does this because there's a lot of support. US does a lot of these things because they are these big companies with lots of money out there. But where are we? We have the talent. As a country, we have the talent. And we are known for what? IT services. We are known for platforms that we've really got. We are great at integration aspects of it. But what is required more? Deep tech innovation. The more deep tech you start getting into, that's where your Kaggle, that's where all your ML and the other aspects of it that you talk about, those are very pieces at the top, right, which really get into that. Now, there are a lot of Indian companies, startups, who kind of are doing some very stellar job. So whether it's in the area of agriculture, whether it is in terms of drones, you know the magic our folks have done with drones, right? I don't want to repeat that aspect of it. Medical diagnostics, breast cancer, I'm not taking names here for reasons. By the way, like you are aspiring to kind of increase your research out here, you should borrow some good thoughts from the leaders from the Indian standpoint is like IIT Madras, IIT Bombay, IIT Delhi. These folks are the ones who are really starting to file lots and lots of patents out here. I know what is the opportunity for all you folks? There are a lot of GCC folks who are starting to come and do R&D centers out here, right? And a lot of industries who are also starting to kind of go create and focus on R&D. And that's where a lot of these things will basically start coming in here. Having said this, get ready for this one. How many of you know this? You know what is that? Hello? 19, 17 is what? Age. How old are you? Don't tell me. I don't need to know your age. I'm not here to know your age. But I want to tell you something. There are folks like you today, just like you, who with a laptop, an internet connection, access to free tools, but more important, have got heart, who felt the urge. Now, if you see something, these two kids, they were 14, okay? The first two guys, Aryan Sharma and Ayush Pathak. They were how old? They were 14. They were not chasing girls. You know what they were doing? They were sending emails, cold emails to leaders in the world of technology. They kept writing, kept writing, kept writing, kept writing. I'm only talking the first one, right? Nobody responded. Somebody said, stop emailing me. Why are you bothering me? Don't send me this. But they still went on and on and on. They built a prototype. They started showing it to people. They started making some money with some freelancing work that they did. And you know what they did? They collected enough money that they went to San Francisco, which is the Silicon Valley of the world. So, to go out and meet who? Mr. Sam. They went and met him in conferences. They went and made sure they were out there, in the face. Making sense? Who told them that? No college, no professor, nobody. Who did it? Their interest. Can you guys do this? Now, aap samajh lo. Do you want to do that out there? Now, the next one, the middle one. This kid, Bombay wala hai, apna hi hai. Every week, he would build a new prototype. Are you listening? Are you guys listening? One prototype every week. Jigar hai, dum hai, karo. What will happen? You will fail, 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 fail. But you will learn why you failed. You will learn so many new things out there. Do you start seeing this aspect of it? This girl, we're talking about research. I heard the word research number of times, right? When you want to start doing research, you want to start getting a smart way to collate everything, summarize your research and get the findings out there. 100 crore only, zyada nahi. That girl, when she was 13, she started working in a university in the US, internship. Making sense? Making sense? Please look these guys up. Please look them up. Really motivating. This will only tell you what you should be doing, right? How do we get there is the question, right? How do you get there? One more. One more? Abhi bolo. What is this? Patent file kar diya bhai. And see the things that they have built. Is this funny? Is this funny? Braille printer. सोचा था आपने? दिल चाहिए ना? This guy volunteers so much. He works in the community. He's understood, like you and me, there are other people who also need help. There is no big technology company or no company went and did something, but these guys, this kid went and did that, no? A need. He saw a need that there are people who want this help. Made life simple. Phone to sabke paas mein hai na. I've got an iPhone, I've got this, I've got latest phone, but what can you do with a phone? Folks, I'm just wanting you to understand what is possible. Does it need high tech? Does it need huge labs? Does it need huge investment? I don't think so. They would have gone for any of these things. They managed to do what they did just out of their own stuff, right? Isn't that the last one, Harsh? Can we think? Can we think of the need? How do you add value? Can you see value getting added? Do you start seeing the need out there? You build for something which is going to start making a difference out here. And you know what? How many of these people are graduated by the time you saw all of this? Anybody graduated by the time? Or they're still graduating? So can you start seeing the big shift which is basically happening in here? Okay. What do you want? Highway to bata diya. Now you want to get onto the highway? That's your road. Can you all see this? There's a lot of things I don't want to repeat. There's a brilliant ecosystem that we have around there. Read about the India AI mission. If you want to read more, I've tried to capture the whole digital revolution. Digital India is out here is what I tried to capture in a very simple way for people to look at. That's what you've got. We talked about Kaggle. You guys know about it, right? And you know what? Please participate in as many hackathons as you can. Chika, you'll not make it. Cool. Go there. You'll learn something and come back, right? Somebody will give you that input which you will never think. Correct? Now use this technology, why? To expand your thinking. Like he talked that point. How do you expand the thinking when you start doing work out there? Is this starting to make sense? If you start getting in there, start looking at it, participate in here, and you know what? The scrolling time, if you start using it to building, is this possible for you to get there, folks? I want to say something else. All of these things is free, right? All of whatever you're talking is really, really free. When are you going to start building? Now, something for you folks. क्या करने का? Question आते हैं ना? What do I do? ये करने का. These are some thoughts, right? Can you see the whole ecosystem everywhere? Now hold on, just hold on. Don't take anything. Listen to this. But 2047, we said Viksit Bharat. All of us understand that. Is the traffic going to become less or more? All of you will start earning. First thing you will do is get a bike or a car, right? You'll add to the traffic? Yes? So do we need a better traffic management solution? Already work is happening or not happening? Happening. But do you need something better? That is one simple thing that we can talk about out there. But if you start looking at it, whether it is in terms of agriculture, or you name it, I don't want to get into each and every aspect of it. We can talk about this for a long time in here, around each and every aspect of it. But is there opportunity everywhere? Now, if you are the tech brain, find somebody who understands this domain. Either you build it or you work with somebody, join forces, which will start making a difference, which will start making sure that in every area, smart. Have I used the word AI anywhere for you? It is how, see folks, it is important, these are all tools, right? What you do and how you make of it is up to us, right? These are going to accelerate a lot of things for you, correct? Learn your tech, get things going, and build from there on, right? That is what is very critical. You know what I will see, what I'm seeing in this? Maybe somebody in this room is going to become that unicorn creator. Possible. Very much possible. Correct? These are ideas. These are some things which we really need to do as a country. This is where a lot of innovation is happening, and this is what you can start going and start participating in here. All right, now let me just quickly get into something else. Oops, sorry. The principal may not like the one on the first one, but reality is that, right? You know one word that you should be doing? Build prototypes, keep prototyping, right? Keep enhancing, keep improving. And as you do that, as you start showcasing this to different people, your language will change. the way people will start seeing what you are building will obviously start giving you more inputs. Clear? Is it starting to make sense? Because the only one word for you is build. The second aspect of it, during your summers, during whatever time have you got, Pinto is here, figure out wherever you guys can get in some internship, wherever, right? No money, chalega. Get the experience. But why will they take you? Not because you are from wherever. They will see what is that you have got. Earlier we used to have people, madam will say, right? Said we used to carry a big bag of certificates. But now what will they want? Prototype hai kya? Show me a Kaggle library, show me what have you put in the GitHub is what people are going to look for, nothing else. What can you do and how can you do that? Easy? Thoughts for you to kind of take it further? On one more. And by the way, if you want an approach of how you can get to be making all of this magic happen for yourself, here is one recommended approach. And what is the approach? Pretty straightforward. You got tools online, free hai na? Cloud mein free hai, you get free credits. Yes, no? You get all of that free today? Pick up some area, pick up the basics, get your basics sorted out. Learn these things. Work on a problem. Don't learn. And by the way, none of you need to code also. Yeah, today there are no code, low code tools also, right? But what is important here? How are you going to debug? Is your any tools going to debug anything for you? By the way, you know what is going to be the most interesting part? You will become so smart. When you go join a company, imagine your boss. How should your boss be? Smart or smarter? What are you expecting your seniors to be? Teaching you syntax? Or helping you resolve something which is out there, right? So everybody has got to learn. Everybody has got to be at the same level. At least understand the basics and stuff like that. Coming to the next point, prototype. Whose is this? This is yours. And I think somebody stood up and said we can get things done in minutes and days and hours or whatever else that we said, right? Depending on whatever you talk about. What problem are you going to solve? We talked about some problems out there, some things that you guys can look at. So if you start prototyping, you got something like Google Colab, TensorFlow, and so on and so forth, where you can start getting all these things going. And you know what is important? Coding is not enough. That's not the end of all. You will have to protect your idea. Yes or no? How do you do that? With a provincial patent, and that is for good 12 months only that you can have a patent basically locking yourself up for. Is that a good amount of time? And the benefit is you can keep making revisions till such time that it is finalized out there. So these are some of the things that you need to pick up, and this will teach you enough and more soft skills, right? It is not just about coding. It is about how do you file, how do you get things done, how do you kind of make sure things are sorted out, how do you make a presentation. So if you're getting down to a point where your prototype is approved and accepted, what do you need to do? We need things to be from a small scale to population scale, for which you need different people. But to scale, thinking is different. You'll have different people who will have raise objections. So folks, here we are. This is some of the aspects. So all you folks focus on mainly is problems. Find out what is a problem that needs to be solved for. Define and work on some algorithms or approaches, which is very critical. Think big of how it can be scaled to millions and millions of users. And more important, how are you going to use the data intelligently? And let's not forget something is, how do you add security in here? Whatever I'm telling you is available to everybody else like you out there. Who comes out there first is the difference, right? The idea basically comes there. Okay, and again, I just wanted to leave this again with you. There are some open positions out there. for somebody who wants to kind of really take this. We talked about the 7 gold mine areas. You guys can go pick up something from here, right? Making sense? So whether it's an agriculture assistant for somebody in their own legal language, which will talk to them about their crops or whatever. And by the way, when I'm saying this, there are already companies who are doing this. So you either have a solution which is better, simpler and cheaper to resolve whatever is there. Making sense? All right, so let's get to the next one. I talked about this already. So what does industry want? The industry wants something very basic. No longer degrees, people want you with skills. If you have the right skills, can that be demonstrated? That is where things will happen. Okay? And by the way, while I'm saying this, will you have an unfair advantage if you have a patent filed with you when you're going down and meeting people? Yes? And imagine of a country of 250 million odd students, just 1% of them file patents which gets granted. Where will we be? The number 1 in the world. Simple? So having said so much, in closing, I just want to say something to all of you. Your interest is the compound interest of your career. Build on it every day, every month, for the year, because as you build, depending on your interest, you'll improve your learning. Basis your learning, you're going to go ahead and start innovating. From the innovation, you look at getting patents, from which you can probably get to be startups. I think your vision very says that you also says, right? Entrepreneurs and innovation, so resonates with all of you folks. And if you have a startup which makes sense, probably we can add to the overall nation progress out there. And that is when the next time, whenever we come around here, you will say that this is a startup from SF IT is what you look at. So my only thing to you, the last thing, if you will remember just these last tagline for you, stop scrolling and start building. And all the best to you folks. And thank you very, very much, Wilson, for getting me out here. And thank you, Principal, and thanks all of you. I hope this was worth your time.
Thank you, sir, for that insightful and thought-provoking session. Your expertise and experiences have provided us with valuable perspectives on technology, innovation, and industry practices. Let us once again give him a big round of applause.
As Mr. Milind Kamble has another engagement to attend shortly, we would like to take a moment to present memento as a token of appreciation. May I invite our TPO head, Mr. Wilson Pinto, to honor our keynote speaker. Please give them a big round of applause. Unfortunately, due to unavoidable circumstances, Mr. Ravi Ipattori also needs to leave shortly. Hence, we would like to also present them memento. Please give him a big round of applause.
As Ravi sir said, stop scrolling and start building. On that note, let us move ahead and introduce our next esteemed speaker. Ms. Sandhya Mohanan is a seasoned human resources leader who currently serves as the Senior Vice President of Human Resources at IIFL Finance. With extensive experience in strategic HR management, she has been instrumental in driving talent development, employee engagement, and organizational transformation. Over the years, she has played a vital role in aligning people's strategies with business goals while fostering a culture of growth, collaboration, and leadership development. Before joining IIFL Finance, Ms. Mohanan gained valuable experience working with leading organizations in the corporate sector, where she handled key responsibilities in human resource strategy, talent management, and leadership development. She is known for her expertise in building high-performing teams and implementing innovative HR practices that support business growth. Through her leadership and vision, she continues to contribute significantly to strengthening organizational capabilities and empowering professionals to achieve their full potential. It is truly a pleasure to have her with us today. I now request Ms. Sandhya Mohanan to kindly share her valuable thoughts with us. Please welcome her with a warm round of applause.
No, now you can hear me. So you all must be super, super tired. Um, so the topic that Professor Wilson had given me is about campus to career. What is the gap and how does a student bridge it? What are the cultural nuances of making this change successfully? And what does it mean to have a digital mindset? So I've never addressed an engineering college, but I do want to share one thing first. Before I'm an HR person, I'm a consumer. And while we entered the digital age, I think more than 20 years ago, and we've been talking about AI for the last 2 years, but as a consumer, I feel that consumer experience is going downhill. So the role that our engineers will play in the near future is going to be tremendous. And while a lot of IT pundits may tell you that engineering is not very relevant, or the importance of engineering is taking a back seat, but I think as the world becomes more complex, as we buy and consume more products, tangible and services, etc., I personally feel that the experience is becoming very complex. My own personal experience as a consumer is that it becomes very shoddy. So as a consumer, I may expect more from my Dell laptop, I may expect more from the city in which I live, I may expect ease of living, and so should you. I may expect more intelligence from the products that I use in my kitchen. I may expect more from the apps that I use on a daily basis, right? So I personally feel that the future of engineering is very bright, but it will depend on you. You know, the old people on the other side of the table, people like me, or the others will not tell you this, right? They'll tell you to develop a digital mindset, they'll tell you to enable your AI skills, etc., etc. But I think engineers are going to be very important because the world is really going mad in terms of the amount of products we use every day, the number of apps on our phone, the digital experience we go through, especially those at work. And we really need good products. We need good experiences. And maybe when you are free later on, you can look up on Google or Gemini or ChatGPT what does design of these products mean today. You know, so when you're creating a product, you're not just looking at the utility and the functionality, but you're looking at how it looks, aesthetics, how it blends into my home, my life, and it's not jarring, right? So that's the first thing I want to tell you. So what is this campus to career gap? You know, my last assignment, you got my introduction a little wrong, but my last assignment was with Capgemini Invent, which is the consulting and transformation arm of Capgemini. And as an HR business partner, I was supporting mostly every year what we used to call the Chrysalis batch, which is MBA recruits from some of the finest universities and colleges of India. So I spent 3 years of my life there as a HRBP, understanding what is going on in their mind, what is their aspiration, what is the gap, and what are the challenges they face when they come to the workplace. So a lot of what I'm going to talk about is, I don't think there's been a book which has yet been written about workplace readiness. If you kind of Google it, you'll see some YouTube videos, but nothing much has been written. So what is workplace readiness? You know, in the last, I think 2 decades, you would have read, there was a lot of conversation about industry alignment. You know, a hated word for the campus, because the campus didn't like the industry telling them that the people were not ready and they needed to reskill and reskill and reskill. And I think till date we hear about that reskilling. So industry alignment was about gaining a certification, gaining skills, gaining knowledge and learning that is relevant to your work. So when you come to the workplace, you can be productive from week 1 or day 2 or whatever it is that every organization is expecting you to do, right? I personally feel as an HR person, I've been an HR business partner for 20 years. I've mostly worked in tech companies. I worked in BPO, internet, the internet industry. I worked in shared services. I had a small stint in retail when I went away from technology. Then I worked in consulting companies. I supported a business which was cloud infra. So all these industries are heavily people dependent. They have like thousands and thousands of headcounts that we folks support. And so what really happens is that the industry feels that when you come on the roll, you land, you go through your 2 or 3 or 1 or 2 days of onboarding, you should start delivering. You know, from day 2, week 1, whatever it is. So are you ready for that? That's the question. Of course, in your case, you have to clear your campus interview before you land a job. But let me tell you, this is not the most difficult part. The most difficult part is when you land in that job, are you going to feel confident about yourself? About the skills that you have picked up? Are you going to feel comfortable with the culture that you're going to land in? Are you going to feel confident as a young professional? I'm not so sure, right? So workplace readiness is like a term that was coined in a lot of tech companies. HR likes to create a lot of jazzy words, right? So we created this word called workplace readiness. How long does it take you to be ready to perform and deliver and not become a performance issue, right? So let's talk about what is this workplace readiness. In fact, I came to this campus to meet Professor Pinto because right now I'm an entrepreneur, right? And for the last 1 year, I've been trying to be an entrepreneur, and irrespective of what Ravi and Milind said, being an entrepreneur is very, very difficult. It's an extremely difficult work. So I came to your campus to try and sell a workplace readiness program. I went to a lot of campuses in Mumbai, and that's how Professor Wilson and I got acquainted. And we discussed it at length. So I don't know if any of you have ever heard about workplace readiness as a concept. I mean, have you ever heard of it? Has the faculty ever heard of this? Yes? No? No freaking clue. Okay. So workplace readiness is mostly cultural, okay? A lot of you are going to land in tech companies like Capgemini, Cognizant, Infosys, okay? It is going to feel like an avalanche, like an avalanche has come and hit you. So mostly workplace readiness is about understanding what is the culture of that place from the moment you land. what is the willingness of this new recruit to unlearn and to be very flexible. I would urge all campuses, in fact, I think quite a few people from other campuses here, is to invest in workplace readiness, because it is going to be assessed even in your interview. When you sit through an assessment center, when you're asked questions by a recruiter, they're also trying to figure out how ready you are for their company, right? So let me tell you what, in a little more detail, if a person is successfully able to settle well at work in the first 2 months from the time that they join on board the company, then we as HR or your functional managers think that you are a good hire, right? It may not be logical, it may not be reasonable, but it is the reality. If you start performing well or you come up to the expectations in the first 2-3 weeks, they think that they've made the right hire. If you don't meet their expectations, they think that they've done a mishire. Somebody's, goofed up. Your HR, your talent management team will say, this is the right recruit. We've gone to the right campus, picked up the right person. Your business guy will say, I don't like him after 6 months, right? So, of course, this term was not used, and we are talking about it now, but why are we talking about these complex things nowadays? Why are we talking about workplace readiness? Why campuses should do boot camps on workplace readiness? Why should faculty spend money on getting them ready for assessment centers? Why are there assessment centers? I understand a lot of banking organizations run assessment centers now as part of a hiring process. That's because in the last 10 years, especially post-COVID in 2021, the workplace is very, very complex. It has a highly digital, you could say it's a completely digital work environment. It's remote, it could be hybrid. Your manager sits in another city, nobody in your team is in your city, you are all alone in a bay. You may meet your manager once in a year or never. Your manager may be sitting in another country. In the first year, you may end up being part of projects with people coming from different functions of Cognizant or Infosys or wherever you've landed. You may interact, you may be on a project working with people from other countries, right? So the workplace is truly very, very complex now. There is no way a new recruit can handle the environment of a technology company today without hand-holding, without being aware of where he or she is going to land. So it's digital, it's hybrid remote, it is also extremely aggressive about outcomes and performance, which is why you constantly hear that a lot of people are on bench and we have to wait on bench and we have to give interviews for projects. We don't just give interviews to join an organization, but we're giving interviews for every client we're supposed to work for. You know, how unreasonable is this? You are being assessed again and again for every project. So how will you prepare for such an environment? Right? Often, a smart Alec will kind of get settled in this job. It takes him or her 1 year. 1 year, that is if he's on project. If he's on bench, he's relaxing, he's training. But if he's on a complex client project, it takes him 1 year to feel confident, to kind of feel confident that I am on the right path, my career is fine, I joined the right organization, I'm okay with this, and I think I'll do well, right? Otherwise, we hear so many cases of people who are not happy with where they've landed, the project that they get, the pay. So there are so many concerns on a new recruit's mind that where exactly have I landed and was this what I signed up for, right? So it's important. I would urge all campuses to speak with the industry that's here, speak with the industry which comes to your campus later on to figure out what will it take to help, to enable a new recruit, a new engineer who lands in a Cognizant or wherever, to be successful quickly in the first 6 months. Within 6 months of onboarding, they should feel at home. So here are some things that will happen as far as, So to begin with, firstly, when they come from the campus, we as HR face a lot of cultural shocks ourselves. One, the new hire is not able to get over the campus culture. You know, you've moved from being a student and now you're a young professional, but you're not able to forget what happens in a campus, right? So often new recruits need to become a little more professional. They'll discuss pay, they'll compare everything, they'll be consistently on their WhatsApp groups across the whole company discussing what's happening, comparing notes. So you'll need to really figure out that once you go to the workplace, who is your ally? What will it take for me to become successful here, right? How do I come out of my campus mindset and how do I grow up to begin with, right? So many look at another thing that we've noticed in the last few years post-COVID is that many new recruits look at the first opportunity only in terms of money. You know, what is the CTC, the pay package that I'm going to get? Or this is what I landed in my PPO, my campus placement. Now I have to deal with it. Either I'm happy with my remuneration or I'm not happy with my remuneration, either ways. And then what do I do with this opportunity, right? So either I'll be happy or I'll not be happy. Some get very stressed out, I have to say, especially in MBA grads who come from MBA institutes. They struggle a lot for the first few years trying to pay off their educational loans. So while it's very easy to say that, you know, start your own startup, do coding, build this, but I understand that a lot of new recruits are under tremendous pressure. There's social pressure that you land a job. There's social pressure that you make a good amount of money in your first job. There's social pressure of paying off your student debt. So within all these challenges, all their decisions of their career, in the first 2-3 years of their career, is driven by these realities, you know. So think about all of these things when you are giving your interviews, when you get hired. What do you really want to focus on? Do you want to focus on just making money, the first 2 assignments of your career? Do you want to invest in learning? Do you want to get the best clients when you're in a company? Do you, do you want to wait and watch? A lot of youngsters today kind of also give up. And after first 2 years, in the workplace, they want to apply for, they start having mobility aspirations. They want to go abroad. They want to either travel to Europe or they want to take an assignment in the US. So these are some of the realities. So aspirations are very high for industry to kind of meet, especially after the first year. Because they figured out what are the kind of clients here on board, what are the clients I can bag, what is the kind of work I can do, can I move from this business to the other? And they kind of decided either it's good to be here or it's not. Should I apply for mobility or how will I grow? There's a lot of growth aspiration after the first year. So my message to all of you is don't take it so fast. Take it slow. First understand, look at all the people around you in your organization, see how they've progressed. I'm sure your HR will tell you all of that during onboarding. Look at all of that. Take measured steps at what you want to do, right? Don't go via peer pressure. The peer pressure of going to Canada, I have to move to Europe. Understand what those mobility aspirations mean. What is the kind of language skills you have to pick up? What are the certifications you need to pick up? So go slow on that. So I want to talk a little about how the campus, your campus, of course you are right now in March. I don't know whether you can invest and do this before students start facing interviews, is that what are the skills, what is the attitude that recruiters are looking for? Recruiters would not necessarily be HR folks, but they could also be business people who come to interview you, right? they're looking for confidence, guys and girls. Okay, we have this cultural challenge of being Indians. We don't speak up, we don't ask questions, and this is one of the first things that gets noticed on all global calls. In all meetings where you will land up and there'll be a senior person, is that you are not asking questions. You're thinking too much, you're too shy, you are not displaying any kind of executive leadership, right? Like even today's discussion, how many people ask questions, and Milind had to take out chocolates, right? Now, culturally, we all like to conform, and probably we've been taught in school and college to lie low, right? Lie low, don't ask too many questions, and don't create trouble. But in the workplace, the world has changed. I also want to tell this to the faculty. The world has changed. Nobody wants conformism. If you're on a project with other businesses of the organization, or you're on a project where there are people from Europe teams and Chinese, and probably the only people worse off at conformism than us are the Chinese. They will also not talk. So really I think as a campus, that how would you build this confidence and this ability to be always articulate? I must speak what's on my mind. How do we build this in our students across India? I grew up in Delhi, so I had the fortune of seeing 2-3 different cities while working. And I assume most of you are born and brought up in Mumbai? Yeah? Anybody who's from outside of Mumbai? None, okay. So, you belong, of course, you're studying in a great institution, which is a very old institution, and there's obviously a very big difference between you and many other people who come from other parts of our country. But the first thing that you have to realize about yourself is that you have grown up and been educated in one of the most cosmopolitan cities of this country. You have a very diverse way of thinking, you accept cultures, you are mild-mannered, you are well-mannered. The likelihood of you young students getting along with any other culture is far higher than, say, compared to people from, another part of India. So that's an asset, right? But if you don't speak up, if you don't demonstrate executive presence, and you will be expected to display executive presence even in your onboarding. For years, we sit in onboarding programs where people just don't talk when the MD comes and says that, do you have any questions, So I don't know, I think the professors will have to think, what is the way in which you shake up the students and get them to start speaking their mind? If you're not doing that today, you're not likely to do it in onboarding tomorrow. It takes 1.5 years for people like you, after you've come to a CGE or Cognizant, to start speaking comfortably and be confident about talking about the project, the problem, or whatever it is on their mind. So that's not acceptable, right? A, you have to build confidence. 2, you have to quickly gain career clarity. Whatever, like you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to build, or you want to do a job, you want to do a work in a technology company, or you want to work in a product company, quickly decide what is your aspiration in the first year. Do you want to work in a tech company? Do you want to work in a product company? What kind of money would you like to make, right? What function? I know that a lot of people, we are told that a lot of students choose engineering because your parents told you to. I don't know in your case, what is the reason why you took engineering, right? But if you've taken that decision under duress, okay, there is still hope. There is still hope, okay? Because we need an engineering mindset at the workplace. We need an engineering mindset. Assuming that you've done engineering, you don't like what you've done, there's a big chance that when you land in your job, you will like your project, you will like your client, you will like your organization. So give it time. If you still don't like engineering after a year of working, there is still hope. You can move. In large organizations, you can move across. You can move from one business to the other. You can move from engineering to marketing. You can move to marketing and communication. You can move to HR. So just once you settle, just be on the lookout. Go figure on your own what kind of direction you want to give your career. The other thing, I don't know if you, in this campus, do you still have public speaking workshops? Do you have, like, I come from a very old generation, like I'm 51. But back then we had elocution classes and we had public speaking forums. So invest in a public speaking forum, because what we usually see is that students are great at socializing within their own circle, right? So within your own circle, you're confident, you speak well, you're confident. But the moment you're put in a group of people you don't know, yeah? Like tomorrow you land in Cognizant and you're part of after a week, you're part of a project team where you don't know anybody, right? So you have to get along, you have to communicate. So your social skills, how you interact with the other person, how you connect with the other person, in fact, how you connect with your recruiter who is going to interview you is the key to landing the next job, is the key to landing, clearing the next client interview, is the key to getting along in a project. So build on your social skills. I would say, I don't know if you have these workshops. Another thing you can do is start investing time in resume building. Please do not use AI for resume building, right? Do not use AI for everything, but don't build your resume with AI. Don't use Gemini AI and ChatGPT for your resume, because there are lakhs of people who are doing that, right? And we end up looking at the same kind of resume, but invest time in building your resume. I want to give some tips. Invest time in building your resume now, today. Start learning it. Even if you don't require a LinkedIn profile, create a LinkedIn profile. Network, connect with some people. You want to connect with some of the faculty that came here, the experts, connect with them. Do not hesitate. Build your profile. If any of you are going to be entrepreneurs, I don't know, use Gamma to create your profile of your company. Yeah, I'm almost at the end. Yeah, so one skill that I think you should think about, I don't think you'll be able to develop, is resilience. The first year is going to be very difficult. And I'll give you an idea about what, when people speak about digital mindset, and I don't want to be patronizing. I think all of you have grown up, the number of digital tools you've grown up with. You've grown up with the mobile phone, the tab, with social media. You've grown up with a maximum number of digital tools. So you're already ready for the AI age. You are already ready. You have a digital mindset. All you have to do is choose and just enter through that door. And I just want to give you a picture of what it will be when you land in your dream company, like, I don't know, Infosys, Cognizant, or McKinsey, whatever. Everything that you require, you will not be able to do a transaction without a digital tool. You want to buy tea, coffee, you need an app. You want to book a meeting room, you need an app. You need to log in. You want to log in and talk to a remote team, you need a Teams app. So there is not a single transaction today which is not on an app. The moment you land at the workplace, the first thing that is going to happen is that you are going to be overwhelmed, right? And this is what we mean by a digital mindset. Just entering your workplace on your day one, you will be overwhelmed with how digital is the workplace now. I just want to end by saying that, There's a lot of preparation that goes into clearing an interview. There's a lot of preparation that goes into being successful at the workplace. There's a lot of preparation that goes into getting a good rating, a scorecard, being successful, etc., right? That preparation has to come from you. You have to really take charge of your career from maybe the day that you are going to be interviewed, right? Some of you will decide to become entrepreneurs. That's going to be even a tougher route. And I know Ravi made it look very simple. That's not the case. Because you're going to be in a workplace which looks very complex. It's a completely digital environment. You will also go through a lot of wellness challenges you will face, you know, in your first year. And the best way to deal with it is to find allies in your workplace. I'm sure HR gives you a buddy and a mentor and so many other people. Be wise to, leverage these people. Don't just like say, okay, it's all right, I've done my onboarding, chalte hai, buddy for 90 days, not required, mentor for 1 year, I don't need it, right? My supervisor is sitting in Bangalore, I don't care. I'm just interested in what is going to happen today and what we're going to have for food in cafeteria, right? So just take charge of everything, look for allies, also seek support of your HR business partners. They work the whole day, every year to ensure that new recruits become successful. So that was my message. I also want to remain in touch with Professor Wilson. In case you have any questions while you're going through your interviews and your PPOs, if you have any questions on preparation, etc., I'm available. I'm there on LinkedIn. Please connect with Professor Wilson. He will help route those questions to me. I'm willing to do all of that at no expense. Thank you for calling me here, Professor. You are an extremely passionate professor. I remember when I met him, he had the largest amount of rebuttals to our product, but he's really nice of you to call me here today. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Ms. Sandhya Mohanan, for insightful and inspiring words. Your perspectives on leadership, talent development, and professional growth has given us a valuable guidance and a deeper understanding of the importance of building strong teams and a positive work culture. Your experiences and advice will surely motivate our students as they prepare for their future careers. Let us give Ms. Sandhya a big round of applause for that wonderful session.
Okay, we are only 45 minutes late after 1 hour delay. So give yourselves a big round of applause. Sandhya, thank you for quite a few real life tidbits. Some of them were lost because the crowd was restless, but I know you mean well. Thank you so much for that. Ravi has put in optimism in all of you, and Milind focused on foundation. Now we have two choices. I am on your side, I am not on this side. So help me make the choice. We take a break now. Principal sir, myself are with this option. Okay, we take a break of 15 minutes, come back here at 1:30, and we have a panel of 11 members from Morgan Stanley, from Capgemini, from private companies, entrepreneurs, who are here to answer your questions, okay? So we can take the 15-minute break and be here exactly at 1:30, because 1:30 we start. Or, if your patience and your cooperation still abides with us, we can continue because we are here for you. By a show of hand, do we want a break? 1:30, all of you back here for the panel discussion to answer your questions live.
check. Hey, check. Hey, 1.
Hello, hello. Everyone who is present, please move forward. I promise you this will be very sharp and as per the promised time. Please move forward. I went all the way up to the back. The air conditioning works equally well across the board. So come forward. No chocolates and no questions anymore. Come in. Come on. Guys, आगे आ जाइए. Okay, while folks are settling, how many of you have your mobile phones? Raise your hands. How many of you have your mobile phones? Great. How many of you are on WhatsApp, Telegram, Signal? Raise your hands quickly, quickly, quickly. Pick up your phones, WhatsApp your immediate friend who is not here, who is either in the canteen or loitering around. If they are interested, we are starting in next 2 minutes. Write this message. If you are interested, we are starting in 2 minutes. This is for you. Let's do it. Come on, guys. And thank you all for being here on time. Come on. I want you to occupy this first row. Come on. Good attendance. I was expecting 80% to go away. 50 gaye. Which is not how the world works.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially not when it is to do with your enterprise or job or... Messages went out? Raise your hands who sent messages. Come on, make me proud of being an SFITN. This is a pilot project. The project is bring in one friend of yours who is interested. Last 30 seconds. Okay? After 30 seconds, do we have the team to shut the doors? Yeah, okay. Cool, let's begin.
Panel discussions provide a unique opportunity to learn diverse perspectives from experienced professionals who bring knowledge from different industries and domains. It allows us to explore ideas, understand real-world challenges, and gain practical insights that go beyond textbooks. Today, we are truly fortunate to have with us an exceptional panel of leaders, innovators, and industry experts who will share their experiences, thoughts, and guidance on important topics related to technology, careers, leadership, and future of industry.
This discussion will give students a chance to understand current industry trends, the evolving job market, and the skills required to succeed in today's competitive professional environment. Without further delay, I would now like to invite our esteemed panelists to join the stage for the panel discussion. We request Ms. Shikha Bhatnagar, Mr. Vaibhav Ganpure, Mr. Prateek Mehta, Mr. Ankush Minath, Mr. Mangesh Pandit, Mr. Ashish Padve, Dr. Brilliant SK, Ms. Archana Randive to kindly join the stage for the panel discussion. I would also like to invite Mr. Prateek Mehta from New York Stock Exchange to kindly take over as the moderator. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for being back. And panelists, thank you for your patience, cooperation, and your inputs that you will provide in the next 45 minutes. The format is such. We have 4 key questions on behalf of the students, and us panelists, we decided are the key questions that are relevant to the students for their next after college. We'll bring up those questions on the screen one by one, okay? A couple of panelists will answer those questions for you. If you are taking the mic for the first time, please spend a minute, not more than a minute and a half, to please introduce yourself in the best possible way, given the context of what benefits the students. To answer the question, you have 2 minutes, okay? And only a couple of panelists will answer each question. And I am giving 20 minutes back to you, students, to ask questions directly to the panelists here, one by one. Is the format clear? Shall we begin? Cool? Okay. Can we have the first question, please? I am also a question mark, but yes, the question, please. Or maybe I have better idea. Never mind. Thank you. Can we take it back to the questions, please? Okay, cool. Thank you. First question. And for panelists, it's most like a fastest finger first round. Okay, there are 4 questions. There are 7 panelists. You each get to answer only 2 questions. Okay. So each question is answered only by 2 panelists. So let's make the most of it. We want to get the most of the experience, but given the time constraint and the patience that our kids have shown, we want to make it the best. Okay? Question 1. What skills should engineering students start developing today to stay relevant in the AI-driven ecosystem? I'll repeat the question. What skills should engineering students start developing today to stay relevant in the AI-driven ecosystem?
Okay, we have 3 minutes, 1 minute for introduction and 2
Yes.
minutes for the response. So I'll keep my introduction very short. My name is Brilliant. You can look up on social media at @BrilliantSK, right? Getting back to what are the relevant skills, I would keep it very simple. Remember the acronym STEM, STEM and LOG, STEM log. हम लोग STEM के ही लोग हैं ना? I know you had food, we haven't, so at least STEM के लोग हो कि नहीं?
Yes, we are. Yes.
We are.
Yes.
So what does S stands for? In terms of skills, competencies, whatever you want to call it, I would say storytelling. Today, people are equipped with technical skills, functional skills. But when it comes to expressing yourself, if you are not a good storyteller, you lose the opportunity. Then comes T, which is the basic, which we all know, it's tech savviness. I'm not asking you to be a master of technology. You need to be tech savvy enough to understand how life can change. 1st November 2023, you know what happened? I celebrated my birthday, that's separate, but ChatGPT was something that people realized is creating chaos in the market. January 2025, what happened? Bula.
Gemini.
DeepSeek.
DeepSeek.
DeepSeek came in, ChatGPT का जॉब चला गया. इधर हम अपने जॉब की चिंता कर रहे थे, वहां पे ChatGPT का जॉब चला गया. February 2026, suddenly out of nowhere, Claude came up and is now creating a buzz. What does it tell you, my dear friends? You need to be savvy enough to make sure that irrespective of what it is, you are on top of that technology. Terminologies will come and go. VUCA, BANI, PANI, CHAI, सब आते रहेगा. But what makes a difference is your ability to take charge of that situation. That is the T for you. And E is the most important. Emotional engagement. We need to understand how the person works. Today we hear this often, and this is also a challenge for faculties as well as people from the industry, is yaar ye kuch bhi bol deta hai. Right? They don't think, they don't understand, they don't put themselves in the shoes of the person when they are responding. And if you can bring that emotional engagement, I think you are in. And M, which I did sitting in the first row of engineering, management and my doctorate, is masti. Have fun. Because it's not about being stressed out all through. If you don't have fun, you will not learn, you will not grow. You need to realize that learning happens best in the moments of enjoyment. So enjoy yourself. Don't get stressed out. Life में बहुत सारी चीजें हैं, tension. And a homeopathic doctor asked me, what is the worst that can happen? I kept saying, ये हो सकता है, ये हो सकता है, ये हो सकता है. Then she said, नहीं, worst is तुम मर जाओगे. And I'm like, हाँ यार. बोला मरने के बाद क्या होगा? Then I started saying my family will be doing this, ये होगा, उनको तकलीफ होगा. He said, उससे तुमको क्या फर्क पड़ेगा? तुम तो मर गए. Right? Please remember, if you don't enjoy your life here and now, you will have a challenge in future. Then L is the most important, which is, any idea? Listen. Listen to what's happening. You need to be an amazing listener. It's not about keeping on talking and talking. Listen well, you will have an advantage over others. We live in a world where people said, don't scroll, but build. I will ask you to move a bit forward. Even if you're scrolling, use the O, which is your observation skills. Observe and see what is it that you can take back from the scrolling, even if you can't avoid it. And the last important is G. Be greedy. Greedy for knowledge, greedy for anything that can help you become the best. So I would simply keep it as STEM log. All the best.
Thank you, brilliant. So have masti, be greedy, and foundational skills, the STEM part. Great, who's next?
Hi.
Hello, good afternoon everybody. I'm Archana Randive and I am a Director HR. You can have a look at my profile that gives you the information. Coming to the topic, I would add to what he has said that today AI gives you all the information. Everything is available online. Okay, but what is more important is your attitude. If you don't have the right attitude, it is very difficult to grab a job. Be greedy, as he has said, keep on asking for more information, okay? And the attitude which you take along with you is going to help you along. Whether it is a positive attitude, whether you are accountable for what you do, whether you are going to own what you are given, that is going to be very important. Secondly, when you go to an organization, don't behave like college students. We have to come out of it. Then we are professionals. Behave like a professional. Don't have the inferiority complex. You feel that you are superior. I am the king. I am the king. If you have that attitude in yourself, I think you are going to succeed because it's a vast ocean of corporates and nobody is going to hold your hand and take you along. It is you yourself who is going to take you along. So please, whatever information, technical information is available, AI is going to help you, but all this is your own which you are going to build, your career you are going to build. So I think it is very important to understand what is your self-worth and how do you build that self-worth. You ask with the help of AI, how do I build my self-worth? What value I add to myself? Then it is going to help you. Otherwise, you are like one fish in the ocean. If you want to stand out, do something totally extraordinary. There is only place for extraordinary people now. Averages are out. Thank you.
And
Can I
our
add
students, yes,
something?
one second, I'll come to it. And I really want one more response on this as well. And our students are thinking, panelists, कि यार question तो नया है, ये answer वही के वही repeat क्यों हो रहे हैं, जो 20 साल से हम सुनते आ रहे हैं. I want a different take on this. Relevant, yes. Spicy, maybe some other day in some jam. But yes, ma'am, I'll take your 1 minute response on this.
I'll make it very specific. Hi, my name is Shikha and I represent Noventic India. So we are a multi-cloud organization. So you name it, from a Microsoft technology to AWS to cybersecurity. We are a platform for all as in technology. Well, I will only talk from my reference. If you ask me, if you want to come to me, what you would do, you should learn cloud, AI, you should learn cybersecurity. You should, that's from a technology perspective, from a system perspective, know how to integrate that as a platform, and from a skills perspective, stay curious, because if you're not, it doesn't help you stitch any part of it. We do hire a lot of campus hires in our institute. It's been 10 years we've been doing that. I have seen the season where somebody coming in 3 months period of time, yet traveling to any part of the world and delivering those projects. I have seen somebody coming from the same space is being get out of the company because they couldn't make it. So it's an attitude which you carry, as you rightly mentioned, is a hunger you carry, is a curiosity you carry to learn a technology, and how much you wanted to go in depth. Many a times we just look at the level, which is a superficial level. Deep dive into all aspects of the technology, be a master, and then multi-skill yourself. This is what my direction would be to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. So for those taking notes, STEM log, I think it's a good moniker to remember, right? STEM, focus on foundations. Attitude is very important. And cloud computing, if the course is in your syllabus, great, focus on the fundamentals. If not, you should be learning cloud computing as well, because everything is on the cloud, yes. Thank you for bringing that up. Question 2. If AI is going to automate most of the technical tasks, what is the role of the engineer in the next 5 to 10 years? How does it evolve? What is your take on that? Who goes first?
Hello all. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So I'm Vaibhav Ganpule. I'm founder of Alumni Engineering Technologies. You can find the profile on LinkedIn. So the question is, if AI is going to do everything, all the automation kind of things, then what engineers are supposed to do, or what engineers are supposed to learn, or what will they do in next 5 to 10 years? So my take is, see, AI ultimately is not going to take over your thinking, and that remains with human beings, because even if today you see whatever output you get from AI, you need to have that human touch. So the process is wherever you need to have human touch, like soft skills, then building other capabilities, working with real people, because in industry we see nowadays that you may be, expert in tools, but if you cannot make people talk to each other, or if you cannot talk to people and resolve the deadlock, then it's of no use. So that's my take. Learn the skills wherever you feel there is a human touch must. Thanks.
So thinking remains with humans as of right now, right? Okay, who is taking the second take on it? Yes.
Yeah, so my name is Ankush. I work at a company called Frappe. We do open source software. You can look us up. So my general take on AI so far is, like, we have seen people at Frappe use AI, like roughly half of them don't use AI, roughly half of them do use AI. And we have not seen significant productivity improvement. Like 10%, 15% is what I would say is the productivity improvement people gain by using AI. Now, there is a lot of hype around this. Like, a lot of it is justified, a lot of it is not. The point basically is, even if you are given this tool that can write a lot of code for you, if you have no idea what code to write or what problem to solve, then like you are handed this machine gun which you are going to spray everywhere and not achieve anything. So like the role of engineers, the question is the role of engineers in next 5 years is so we internally at Frappe keep saying like good engineers don't produce code, they produce some kind of value or they solve some real problem. So that is going to be the role of engineers who own more and more of the problem, who don't just rely on, okay, a product manager has given me a feature and I have to go and implement this feature, like QA will test it for me. So like people who own problem, who own things are going to be better engineers, and I hope like some of you engineers become owner into the problems wherever you go and work and not just like executors, because if you're just executors then yes, like someone else can now prompt for you. But if you actually solve problem or actually create value, then there's still a lot of work, that kind of work left, which is not going to be replaced anytime soon.
So engineers must do what engineers have been doing, are doing, they should continue doing, which is building. You keep building. AI, like he mentioned, is for helping you build faster, better. It is not going to build by itself. You still need to tell it what to build, right? It's your thought, thinking, and you are building it. Okay. The next question. What's your take on kids, students, using AI tools for completing their assignments? Raise your hands if you do. Use ChatGPT and Copilot to complete the coding assignments. How do we ensure that this AI help and assistance aids productivity instead of making them overly dependent on it? Where do you draw the line, and how do you walk that path? Who wants to take that?
I'll take that, but I'm not from IT background. I'm from mechanical background. I'm
Even better.
Pandit. I takes care of logistic and supply chain of India. So my take on this is, I'll tell in general. So even I have seen people using AI to solve something, right? But for that, you have to have your basics clear. If you don't have your basics clear, then you are automating something which is erroneous, right? So firstly, I will tell कि firstly makes your basic understanding very clear. Your concept should be very clear. You should know what is thermodynamics. You should know what is basic code, right? Then you can take help of AI to maybe think over it and get some other perspective. But to start with, you should have some basic understanding of those concepts, and then only you can build. So one is your basic understanding, basic concept clarity, and second is logic. Your logic has to be very clear, which even in our keynote speaking also we heard that all drives through logic. So your logic has to be very clear and your concepts has to be very clear.
Okay, so once again, focus on foundation. Logic has to be clear. You are building, you are the owner. Okay, great.
I just want to add, I'm Ashish Padave, by the way, and I am Director of Engineering at Informative. Just making a note here, even ChatGPT comes with a disclaimer. And everybody would have read that. So that gives you that insight into where AI is right now and what engineers need to do. That one line of disclaimer will tell you what not to do. Once you write, if you are doing your projects through that, if you do not have the basics clear, you will not be able to verify what the output of that ChatGPT is or any other tool that you use. That's my take.
Just like to add, we have been facing a lot of issues where people use a lot of AI to generate content, email. Suddenly somebody doesn't understand how to portray an email as writing an excellent emails and sending to the clients and everything, and we are doing the rebriefing of it, that what you're exactly doing. So what I'm trying to say, of course AI is your superpower, no doubt on that. It's the greatest buddy you can have. It's a revolution of its own kind. But your judgment, your ethical consideration, and the human side of it in terms of empathy. It can be a machine-oriented answer, but it is on you that how you wanted to put that out. So I would say for us, how we look into internal, very important, user acumen. Very basic, simple user acumen, how to use it in a best way. So that's what I would like to add. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll try to stick to the agreed upon routine of this panel discussion. Let's do that. Question 4. what business insights and soft skills should students focus on? So there is technology, there are soft skills, and then there is the business domain knowledge. In what proportion, what path, what should be the approach that students should take to have a fruitful career, a fruitful life out there once they are out of college?
When it comes to business, the students, once they enter the corporates, they should first understand what is the business line. Sometimes we don't try to understand what overall business the company does. When we go for an interview, we just prepare for that much. Oh, I know your company. I have read about your company. No, that does not help. If you are shortlisted, you should exactly know what the company does and what is your role in that company. That is very important. Second comes the skills, the soft skills. You have to interact with people. Today we say that we are into IT, this thing, AI is there, I have work from home, I have hybrid. No. You are a human being and you have to interact with people. If you don't interact with people, you don't have the social acumen, I think it is going to create a lot of issues for you. There are some skills which you have, but there are a lot of skills which the corporate requires you to learn. Something to learn, something to unlearn. Keep in mind and try to understand what is to be unlearned, what is to be learned. I would also say that try and start interacting right now with people from the industry. All your teachers, professors are here to give you a support which is academically very strong. What the industry wants, how it wants you to be groomed, how it wants you to be ready, what do they expect from you when you go there, that is very important. So these skills where you should understand what you should learn is very important for you today.
Okay, so
I'll just add to that.
Sure.
See, we need to understand one thing is in business, nothing works in isolation. Now, specifically talking about technical people, techies, typical techies, I have worked with all of them. When you reach around 15 years of technical experience, you feel like, oh, I don't know still anything from the business side. And that is where your growth stops. So as a human beings, we need to have growth maybe after every few years. And how can you get that growth actually is understanding not only technical things, but what is happening on the business side. That means what is happening in your industry, what is happening on the marketing and sales side of your particular domain or product or services which you are taking. And that's the most important thing to have long-term career within the industry.
Yeah, sure, please add.
Okay, we all read about it in the good old days, GIGO, remember? Good in, good out, garbage in, garbage out, but today it's changed. It is good in, gober out. Because what you feed may not necessarily what the other person is feeding in. So you need to understand, and we go back to what Milind in his session spoke about. Chalti ka naam gaadi, badti ka engineer. And Badti has an acronym that he told us: build, analyze, design, test, and innovate. All of these are basics. Pratik asked a question, 20 साल से क्यों यही चीज बोल रहे हैं? अरे खुद के अंदर झांक के देखो. Why are we still speaking about it? What does it mean? We have not moved an inch from where we were 20 years ago. That means it's a systemic problem. So adding to what people have said here, I would take from what she said, CAN, can, curiosity. It is the most important aspect that can help you become better. A is ambiguity. You will not get a structured environment when you get in. When you walk in, ऐसा लगे अरे कॉलेज में तो ये सिखाया था, इसके थियरी के हिसाब से तो ये होना था. It doesn't happen. You need to have that ability to work in ambiguity. And you may be thrown in a tank full of sharks. You need to understand how you navigate. That's the kind of ambiguity that you will get. And N, to understand business, to understand domain, to understand the industry, you need to do what Vidya Balan would have said, network, network, network. Network with people in the industry, network with leaders who come to your college. Yes, it may seem tedious. You feel that you're pushed into this auditorium for a session, but there is a reason, and you are all lucky, my dear friends. We never got that opportunity where colleges would bring industry experts to your step. Appreciate them. I know the hunger, for stomach is there, but we are here to share food for thought. And if you take even one morsel from it, I think our job is done. Thank you.
No, thank you, brilliant. Very, very, very important point there. Networking, which is not touched upon, was not touched upon in the entire duration of the session today. Thank you for bringing it up. One of the key points, okay, where folks from outside come and tell folks in our country that your engineers are not good enough, happens because we don't network. Not because we can't do work, not because we are not brilliant, not because we are not hardworking, not because we don't have concepts. ये सब afterthoughts है. We don't network. You go to New York City, you go to San Francisco, you go to Paris, you go to Tokyo, every place, every single evening, engineers like you are hustling, mingling with the folks in the industry. Your staff has kept this for you, and I'm told this is only the start. This is going to happen on more and more and more regular basis. Make the most of it. Go out and make the most of it. Last question before I go to the Q&A from the students directly. Adapting. For this one, I feel the pain for my fellow SFITians. What is happening today in the world has happened before, okay? For us who are the oldies, in a relative sense, not too old yet, okay? When 2000 came and the internet era came, there was a very firm belief that everything will be done on the internet. $3.6 trillion were spent on laying undersea cables. Go and check this number, this is a fact. Okay, because they thought everyone would be doing everything only on the internet. 2026, 26 years later, we are spending about $30-40 trillion, 10 times more. 30 years, 10 times more. Logical, okay? $30-40 trillion, because the assumption is everything will be done by AI. No. Did not happen earlier, will not happen now. In this, a few tasks, a few things get replaced. Email replaced post. How people interact and do sales. We had a sales champion here. I hope we make the most of it. The TCS guy, Milind, he was a sales champion. You should have asked him. No one asked any question. The question should have been, in your sales journey, where does AI come into play? When you make a deal today, okay, does AI help you and how does it help you? This is the kind of thought process we need to bring in, but I'll give it to the panel on being adaptive in this age where the changes, of course, the same kind of changes which have been coming from the past. The pace of change is the difference now. It is at a rapid pace. ChatGPT आया, Gemini displays it. Claude आया, displays Gemini. While we are speaking, if we go out, पता नहीं कल तो Chat Gemini, one more version will come out and replaces everything. In this environment, and cross your hearts when you give this, because the students, the folks, the innocent folks who are here, okay, have to do something about it. How do they adapt to this rapidly changing AI ecosystem today? Who wants to go? I put them in difficult position for you, okay?
So it's simple. We used to follow what we call as the waterfall model long ago, right? But today it's about being agile. So you need to be agile, adaptive, and most important, be there when change is happening, right? दूर से बहुत अच्छा लगता है. You need to get in, as I don't recall, I think she said it. You need to get in deep. It's no longer okay to be on the surface level. I am an engineer by degree. I did my post-graduation in computers. I worked as a technical teacher for almost 4 years. Went into software development for 4-5 years and then moved into HR. So now if you see, the journey has taken me through multiple domains, but one thing which is foundational is the ability to understand when things are changing and your passions are aligned to it. Please remember, I think it was Sandhya who asked, did your parents force you to do engineering? Probably yes. 100% may say yes, but the reality is you can definitely find your passion somewhere else. But if you're not aware, if you're not agile to the changes that are happening, you will lose the game. And it doesn't matter. 4 साल इंजीनियरिंग के वेस्ट हो गए. मेरे को बहुत से लोगों ने बोला है, बोले यार तूने इंजीनियरिंग का 1 सीट वेस्ट कर दिया. But I know when I was doing that engineering stuff, I was into it, deep rooted. So
And
when
it
you
laid the
get
foundation for you to understand the world better, which is
exactly
so close to it.
and then I realized what we are doing, I go back to what Milind said, it's about understanding the human needs. And I was doing projects on resource management, leave management, attendance management, and what we know today as 360-degree, 360, which used to be called as a project BASPAC for me, for a US company. And I felt, wow, this is so interesting. And I started interacting with HR, and I realized that there is more that I can do with an engineering mind and try to do something which can help people and address the needs of the human. So please remember, we are engineers, so we need to address the human needs first. But first understand, I need to be aware, agile, and most important, have that passion to change when it required.
So got to adapt and got to adapt quickly.
I just like to add, the logic is your. Use it in a best fashion where you can, because that will not change. Of course, you can create the shape, size, the length, everything from there, but the logic is yours. So play with that, use an acumen. Even when you, like in Noventic, somebody comes, to be honest, we give them the worst of the projects to get started with. The worst of the projects, because they are their biggest teacher. The toughest clients, the more challenges, complex technology, we give them the worst client to deal. And even within 6 months, if they come out of this successfully, they have their career set, because we know that they have this capability to handle those tough, complex challenges. And we really do that. So when if you're coming to us, be mindful that we will give you the worst of the location, the worst of the projects.
And that is for your benefit, because it makes you stronger and makes you learn better in your initial years. And I fully vouch for that. I'll take one more.
So,
Yes.
adding to what these guys said, right? Adaptability is what we need to have, and from borrowing from Ravi, curiosity. I think today's engineering mind has to be curious, has to keep on learning, has to keep on adapting. See, even from Ravi's again, when he said that you should not be just scrolling, I would, like she said, like when you're scrolling, if you see that something is wow, the next question should be how. As long as you follow that wow with the how, you will remain curious, you will learn, and you will keep adapting to these changes that come in every day.
Cool. Okay. One thing I want to, I'll just summarize that. And sometimes our Indian parenting system, and which is what I want to address now in 1 minute, when parents, and some of you may have been forced into engineering by your parents, okay? Today when you go home, if your parents forced you into engineering and paid all the fees for you, which is a huge, huge plus, okay? You should go home today and thank them. Let's put it one more step forward. Thank them and hug them today. Because they forced you into engineering. With the AI thing coming into the world today, amongst the population of 8 billion people, the engineers are at the forefront who will be able to tackle this, adapt to this in the best possible way. So how you came here, whether you came by choice or whether your parents pushed you or whether you came here because your friend or your girlfriend or boyfriend was here, whatever it was, thank them and go hug them today, okay? Because it is the right choice. It has turned out to be the right choice. And I'm not sure why nobody has addressed one of the questions here, which is about adaptability. It has become very, very, very difficult for the engineering colleges, okay? And I was talking to principal sir and I was talking to ma'am, and they are constantly changing your courses. I read that on the slide. This never happened before, where we have to change the courses while you are in your engineering, but they are doing it for you. So thank them also. And if the thought crosses your mind, what is the college for? Because yes, there are some nice, inspiring stories of young kids doing amazingly well. And we in India tend to infatuate about them, okay? We fall in love with them. Young kid, okay, drop out, amazing. The odds are in favor of those who come to college, build foundational skills, okay? Remain humble, remain curious, and be of good character, and good things will come your way, okay? So this college, this lab is your, Laboratory. Get a group of friends. Blow off the lights, blow off the stage, whatever you want to do, make something, build something. That is what you are here for. You are not here for this 10 marks or 100 marks or whatever the grades are. Okay, that is not going to help you because it has been amply mentioned here. The certificate file is useless now. If you tomorrow after 4 years, okay, tell the college that where is my job? We will be standing here saying that 3 years before we told you what to do. What have you done? Okay. You have all the labs, all the teachers, an entire library, and the internet and all the free tools, and all these panelists whom they have summoned, hungry, without lunch, waiting to tell you what to do. If you don't do now, boss, the onus is on you. Okay?
One last thing I would like to add. Sorry, I'm taking the time out. So, love it. You're in engineering. Love it, all of that. Well, whatever you do, my best wishes, do your passion intact. Cooking, art, architecture, whatever you like, doing it, making it, hobby, cooking, many things, gardening, whatever. Don't kill that with your job at all, because that is going to be your biggest stress buster. Even after years of working experience, you build a logic, business, function, operation. Tomorrow you want to start something of your own. You have learned that navigating it. And any of the age, maybe 40, 50, I am 45, I have no problem saying that. But I'm starting my own jewelry business very soon because I always had an interest in that. So,
Just one thing. In the morning, Milind said that he got to keep term. And I can tell you, I failed. I failed and I lost 1 full year. But when I finished my 4th year of engineering, I topped the college. So that is also a possibility. So please remember, don't let failures define how you will turn out to be. So failures will come, you need to face it with confidence and say, chal, aa jao, dekh lete hain. And as Ranchod Singh Chanchad had said, Kabil bano, kamyabi, ...
So the college is for learning to learn and learning to fail. Fail as many times as you want in this 4 years. Then go and succeed out there. This is what this is for. Before I go on to the question and answer sessions, which will be for next 8 minutes, one quick raise of hand show. There are 6 options that all of you can take once you are out of college. I'll name them one by one. And whichever option you want to take, or you are willing to take, or you are interested in taking, raise your hands, so that it gives us panelists and the moderator the chance to moderate the question and answers accordingly. Okay? Fair? Option number 1, out of college, do nothing. Raise your hands. Thank you for making me proud of being an SFITian. Second, job. Raise your hands if you want a job. All the choices are equally valid. No one is judging you here. Okay? About 40%, 50%. Raise your hands properly. I can't see them. Okay. Okay, great. 60, 70%. Okay. Master's program. Master's program. Okay, 30%. God help you with the visas. God knows where. Fourth, business. Who wants to do their own business? Or father's business, or uncle's business, mama's business. Good number of hands for business. And, okay, about 10%? Yeah, 10, 12%. Okay. Who wants to start their own venture? Business was your family business or your mama's or uncle's or someone's business which you go and join. Okay. Venture is when you start something all on your own. How many? Okay, some. Okay, good, good, okay, cool. Who wants to be part of the gig economy? This is a valid option which has come up in the last 4 years. It is not something that the experienced folks would recommend ever, but the gig economy, you become a YouTube influencer or you become an Uber driver, okay? Every job that you do, you do well, okay? And you take experience from it will propel you to something good in your future. Who wants to do gig work? Website designing, influencer on YouTube or Twitter or LinkedIn or whatever. Freelancing, gig economy. Nobody. Okay, so nobody for gig economy. Anybody for gig economy? If you are a solo person, please raise your hand. We'll address those when you have questions for that. Okay, so mostly for job. Second is masters. And then between business and venture, we have 10 to 15%, okay? So panelists, we have a crowd which is almost all more or less lean towards taking a job in the corporate sector once they are out of college, okay? Can we pass the mic around? Okay. I'll take the first question. You have heard the sessions of the keynote speakers. You have heard the panel discussion. This is your chance to ask your question boldly, honestly, without being judged. Ask your questions. I'll take about 6 to 8 questions. 1 and 2. 1 and 2, yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Dhruv Chauhan from third year INFT. So my question is about cybersecurity.
Okay.
Currently, as we know that AI is a booming field and everyone is into data-driven and AI, ML, AIDS. So do the panelists think that cybersecurity is being overlooked because of AI, or is it running on the same pace as of AI development? Thank you.
Thank you. I'll repeat the question. The question is, with the growth in AI tools and technologies coming in, is cybersecurity being overlooked? If yes, what next?
See, cybersecurity sit on the top of every technology. It's a protection layer. It sit on all the top of every technology. I'll repeat that. So without cybersecurity, of course, I don't know whether you guys have heard the government also putting their layer of security, which is Nitya Ayog, if I'm not well versed with the name. So they are also putting their own governance system in place. So cybersecurity is a key element. It sits on top of any technology you learn. So that's my answer.
Cool. You had something to add?
Yeah, I lead security where I work, and it's just gonna get worse because all the vibe-coded security holes are going to be there. So there will be more and more jobs for people who can find security holes and patch them before the others find them. So like it's not going away anytime soon. As long as technology is there, there will be people who will exploit the technology, and there will be the blue team people who will safeguard the technology. So don't worry too much about it. Like we have seen more vulnerabilities in the last few years than before.
So translating the message coming from the industry experts for you, 70% who want to pursue jobs, the number of jobs in cybersecurity are going to increase, if not exponentially, at least at a good rate. So that is a good domain to pursue. Does that answer your question? Okay.
Thank
Number
you.
2, yes.
So my name is Tanmay Bhatkar and I am a BE final year student. So my question is, we have seen so many of us apply for jobs, but
Yes.
and we even possess the right skills or right technical skills to be precise.
Yes.
But the entire process of evaluation from the HRs or from the industry leaders, it is quite black box to us.
It is.
We can't figure it out. What was the reason we weren't selected? Or the grapevine among students is it is because of college, it is because of CGPA. So we don't even get the chance to showcase our skills properly. So something.
How to overcome this?
Yeah.
Am I stealing your thunder? Sorry, I'm just trying to help you verbalize that. Was that your question?
Yeah.
How do you get out of this
Yeah.
catch-22 situation where
More like
you have the skills but you're not getting response?
Yeah. And what is the HR actually looking for in a candidate?
Yes, I
Or
want
if
this
they
to
are
be answered by HR for sure, and I also want this to be answered by those who are in the position to give jobs. As to what's going on, cross your hearts, answer this honestly. And I'll then sum this up also because I may have a take on this also. Thank you. Very good question. Thank you for your honesty.
To begin with, I would say it is like a game of fastest finger first. Okay? The better skills you show, the better probability you have to get shortlisted. Now I start with your question that what exactly HR expects. First is your academics. We fix a level whether you are a first class or a distinction. Some companies fix that level also. Secondly, courses which have led you to projects. Like I think somebody mentioned GitHub and all. Whether you have certain projects put up there, then you can be evaluated based on that. Thirdly, if there are certain technical tests which are taken by the companies, how do you fare? Sometimes we forget whatever we have learned in the first year and second year. So that itself shows that whether our basics are clear or we have forgotten the basics, because we feel that now that was in the first year, now I can forget whatever it is. No, that does not happen. Fourthly, application part. Many a times a question, I give you an example. Somebody had asked a question in the interview, how does the rickshaw, that time it was not the push button, It was the lever which was to be pulled. So how does that start? Which energy gets converted into what type of energy? And the student could not tell. The electrical engineer was asked, what is, when you say electrical current passes, what is it? The student could not reply. So these are all application based questions. How well you can sell yourself, project yourself during a short period, that is what matters.
Okay, we'll also like to hear from
Just
someone.
like to add, whatever she said, that's a structured approach of looking at it. It also depends how do you answer those. A lot of, the volume and the confidence come out the way you speak. Even if you may know many people are very confident to put it across, there's a STAR methodology. I don't know whether you have learned it as part of the behavior curriculum, or there's a simple situation, analyze, task, action and results, a very, very well-rounded methodology which is well adopted. We look at that how are you answering that particular question? How are you navigating all across and making a fine answer out of that? So always remember that this methodology helps in dividing those conversation into actions and then into a final answer to that. So do be mindful on that. We also see how you are with the local knowledge also, not just the academic knowledge. Projects are one thing, and how much do you know about your surrounding and the ecosystem as well. So that's also one of the criteria which we also evaluate. Thank you.
So we have had the HR take. Now I'll take the take of the decision makers who actually hire. Yes.
So I'm in
Yes,
with
absolutely,
both
yes.
of them. Just one more point is generally companies see the right fit. So you might be very good at certain skills, but company doesn't need that skill. So that is also something you should look for. What exactly company wants. Company, just see the company JD of that particular role. Whether you are fitting into that role, company see the fit of the candidate for the organization itself in terms of values, in terms of culture, whether that person will fit in that organization or not. So these are some two things which company generally see in terms of fit. One is role, what that role needs, whether that role needs constant managerial aspect or that role needs individual contribution.
So the four-step approach, you have to be good at communication and you also have to be a good fit. I have a take on this, sir. Yes, you had something to say? Please. Yes.
Which are not good enough.
Right.
So we doubt about their selection process also.
Or rather you would like to help them in their selection so that it becomes better.
It becomes
Yes.
better because we give better students, they come back home.
Yes, yes.
So why this component is neglected in the interview panel?
Okay. Yes, I'll come to you in a moment and see, this is interesting. See why you all folks came back in this space. I hope it is paying you back, okay? I'll not answer your question yet. So, sir is saying to the HR folks here on the panel, we have seen, and it's an experience which we are sharing, again honestly, we're talking very honestly here, that at times we have seen as an institute that some of the folks whom we thought were relatively less deserving than the deserving folks get selected, but the recruitment panel does not take inputs from the institute itself who has groomed and made those folks over the 4 years. Is there any talk within your community to incorporate feedback from the very 4-year parents of the so-called kids so that they can give you inputs, not to influence the decision, but to aid you in selecting what apparently could have been missed? You want to answer this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it will be a blend of all. So I'll be very candid, and since we are being brutally honest,
that's what we want.
I take a college, every student has the same format, same set of skill set, same set of projects. Now you are in my shoes, right? I respect what the college has done for 4 years.
Distinction hai to aa jao, first se
Exactly. And I come from a background of failure myself, and I know what it means to be a failure and then prove yourself. So when I look at a CV, and to his question and to add on to this, I don't look at whether the person is a distinction holder or a rank holder, it doesn't matter to me as long as you are a graduate. Pass ho gaya, that is more than enough for me, which means that you have put in that efforts. And let me be blunt and honest. Engineering kiya yaar, kuch to ukhadi lenge hum.
Yes.
Right? That is the spirit which I know for sure. So when it comes to me, sir, when you said that there is a recommendation from the college, we respect that recommendation. However, what we have seen, it is not obvious is the bias that the teachers and the people who groom the students will also have is जो लोग top rankers है ना, उनको मैं एकदम cherry blossom shoe polish से कराऊंगा, बाकी जो है उनको मैं station वाले shoe polish से करा दूंगा. Sorry for using
Fair
this
enough.
language, but this is where
there
we
is a
feel
point
that
on both
disconnect.
sides.
No, but then why look at tier 1, tier 2 and tier 3 kind of institutions? Because most of these institutions, they categorize it.
We don't.
Yes. They say that DJ Sangvi is better. Then don't go for tier 1, tier 2, tier 3.
Very good you asked that. And I want to tell you in a forum that for the last 2 years, I have not been able to hire a single person from tier 1 and tier 2. I have hired from tier 3 and they are still with me. The reason is very simple. And let me be again brutally
Personally,
honest.
I don't like the classification of the tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 also.
Tier 1 and tier 2 can
casteism
get
का
you,
India का concept निकाल ही देना है.
it can get you a
tier
foot
1
in
ही
the
है.
door. But दरवाजा खुलने के बाद अंदर जाके तुम क्या करते हो ना, वो तुम्हारे ऊपर है. So I give that opportunity to all the tiers, and I am proud to say, and maybe the other institutes may not feel happy about it, but I have seen that they are not able to express themselves effectively.
Let me answer his question
as
now.
effectively that.
What's your name, buddy? Tanmay? Tanmay, it is tough outside. This happens every few years. Everyone please listen. Tanmay's question may be relevant to you also. Okay. He had the honesty to ask this question. I am applying, no one is responding. Why the black box? Right? The answer to that, Tanmay, is cycles. Economic cycles. The institute that you are standing on right now was started in 1999. The 2003 batch was the first batch that came in, was graduated, okay? If someone here is from that time, Kevin sir is of course here. Can you guess the number of students? And I was on the placement committee, so I know. Joshi sir and I, we had worked together to bring in companies, okay, to get placements here in 2003, okay? Can you guess the number of kids who got placed from that batch? And bear me for a moment for this story, because I'll reveal to you what lies ahead of you. And I'm almost sure this will help you all, okay? So bear with me for this. How many students do you think got placed from that batch? There were 180 students, 60 in each. 180 students से कितने place हुए थे आपके हिसाब से? Quickly.
I think at least 60 students should have been
60.
placed. Yeah.
2. Okay? 2 people. I know the names also, I'll not take the names. One from IT, one from EXTC. Ma'ams, remember? You remember the names? Okay, we had begged. Begged is a small term for Mass Tech to come in, okay, and take people. And you know where the 2 people were placed? One was made the assistant of the CEO. I know the name of the person, but I'll not take it. So he was in the CEO's office as the assistant, okay? And he did, then came 2004 batch, okay? In 2004 batch, take a guess out of the 180 students of 2004 batch, how many students were placed?
I would again say 2 or less than 10.
180, my friend. The folks who did not join were the ones who went for masters. Every single kid was placed. Thereafter, that is when SFIT made its mark, okay, on the engineering community back in 2004 and 5, that we have arrived. Were the students of 2003 selected on the same criteria, trained by the same teachers, in the same labs, in the same institute, any different from 2004 batch?
I would guess not, because it's...
Absolutely not. In fact, I am telling you, I am 2004 batch. 2003 batch was even better than us. Okay? Mayank Jain, Mayank Seksaria, Maria Govis, all of them. Mayank Jain, today, that batch kid, is the MD managing director of Guggenheim Partners in in New York City. The person who did not, the batch that did not get jobs in 2003 from this same institute, and I can list every one of them because I know them personally. That was a bonding. I was telling you last time also that bond with each other. That is going to help you far more, okay? Leave this Instagram and TikTok and all that, whatever you call it, okay? Bond with your friends. Each of those kids is either a partner, a managing director, a director, or is an individual contributor at the principal level in top firms. All the names are flashing back, but I don't want to take. The story is, buddy, it's tough for you right now. There is uncertainty everywhere. Decision is not going to be taken. When money has to be spent, okay, that I got to hire you, I got to keep in mind that I should have enough money in my account to sustain your salary for the next 5 to 10 years. Only then I hire you. I think someone should have mentioned this, but I was supposed to be a panelist, but I'm here. You got to bear me, okay, right? They will hire you only at that point in time. Now, to answer your question, what should you do now? Okay, I know of folks who have walked with their degree certificate to the office, okay, where you want to get hired. Talk to someone there and say, sir, are you willing to hire me? I am ready to work for free. And still not free. It is going to cost them because they are going to give you a seat, they are going to give you an account, they are going to give you infrastructure, their air-conditioned office is going to occupy you. So it's not free for them, although they are not paying you. But you will not waste your time. The batch of 2003, and there were other batches, see, 2003, 2004 it went up, then again 2008, 9 again came back. I can keep going on until the evening, okay? But you got the point. The cycles are natural. Engineering does not go away. Logic does not go away. What you are building does not go away if you are building it. While the industry is not absorbing you, you make yourself stronger, either by working free or what the panelists have suggested. Who is stopping you from becoming a Kaggle master? Nobody. Anyways, the job is not there, तो वो तो कर लो. और अगर Kaggle master नहीं भी बन सके, एक स्टार तो लेके आ जाओ. एक कोड कमिट कर दो यार. Then the next time you walk to a door, you have something to show. I made this code commit on this branch, on Apache Kafka or Apache Airflow or Apache something, which is an open community forum, and my commit was taken in. That's your certificate, not your marks, not your college. Does that answer your question? It is tough, right? So the black box is only because the cycle is different. If the cycle was different where they were doing capex, okay, जहाँ पे वो लोग पैसा खर्च कर रहे होते, trust me, you would have received 3 job offers. Unfortunately, it is not happening right now. Whether it will happen tomorrow or 3 months down the line or 3 years down the line, no one can tell. It will happen because cycles are natural. Understood?
Yeah. So to conclude, if I'm on the right track, is to wait out the period and focus on upskilling myself, right?
Yes. Wait it out, be strong, and do things which are productive. Not scrolling. Not doubting yourself. There is nothing wrong with you, any one of you, and never was. I'm giving you a live example, right? Okay, question number 3.
Thank you.
I'll just add one term, what he mentioned. You focus on building your portfolio. That's what we have been discussing, you know. And what's the harm in, you know, cold outreach to recruiters and managers who are recruiting within the industry. So please make use of social networking very well, but you should have something to showcase. I see people saying, I know CATIA, I know SolidWorks. That's not going to help.
Correct.
You tell them where have you worked, what value addition you have done, what have you learned, and what are you willing to bring it to the table. That's always help.
Other companies who are here, okay, know them well, okay, know where their offices are, okay. In fact, you should know where every of your alumni is working, okay. Knock at their door and just say, what can I do for you? Is that tough? Is that too tough? I think not. Okay. And this is what is needed when the cycle is down. When the cycle is up, you'll have 3 to 6 offers, my friend. Okay. Right? But unfortunately, that is how it works. And if you say that, okay, is this bad? No, it's not bad. In a 30-year career span, when you start at 22, okay, and go up to 52, right? You will undergo these 2 cycles, at least. You will either thrown out of the job, right? Or if you are in a business, your business will always go bankrupt. 2 cycle तो 30 साल में आने ही है. In your case, that cycle just happens to be at the start of the career. That's the only change. There's nothing different. And this cycle will pass, upswing will come, and how your life will turn out will determine what you did when the cycle was down. तब फिर तुम बैठे रहोगे 3 साल इंस्टाग्राम स्क्रॉल करते हुए, जॉब नहीं है, धत SFIT बकवास कॉलेज था, हाँ, तो वही करते रह जाओगे. SFIT has a list of alumni who are at, I'm repeating myself because I'm very proud of this fact. Tier 2 सर Tier 1 colleges को हमने हमारी टीम में लिया है, okay, hire किया है from London School of Economics and MIT and Stanford's. I know my colleagues from SFIT who have hired folks from there, and they respectfully yield to your fellow engineers from SFIT. So if there is ever a doubt in yourself कि SFIT या मुझ में कुछ गलत है, वो डाउट को निकाल दो, वो है ही नहीं. And anyone who says that, मेरे पास लेके आना. Okay? You want to add something? Now, I'll take a few questions, sir. Umang, right? Umang wants, okay. And I know it's 2:48. We are hungry to help you more. Okay? You all had your meals. But we have to wrap up. Is it? Yes. We have to wrap up. And, oh yes, it's the forum is, and then Umang and Kaiwan and Shruti will come here. Shruti will come here and share their views. They are recent graduates. Okay? Yes. Last question.
So, hello everyone, myself Bhaskar and I am from 3rd year mechanical. So as everyone know that AI is booming in the current era and there is this saying that AI will take over.
Do you have 4 job offers?
Sorry?
Do you have 4 job offers?
3.
You should have job offers. The number?
No.
Okay, continue your question. I'll tell you why.
So
yes.
there is a saying that the AI will take over the jobs and all. So where do a mechanical engineer should see him or her? Like which skills?
You should pray that AI take over their jobs. I'll tell you why. The number of data centers and the number of energy power plants in India are going to increase multifold. We are at 500 gigawatts today. We are going to be tripling that capacity in next 4 years. That requires mechanical engineers, civil engineers, electrical engineers, not IT engineers, mostly.
So
we are going to increase our capacity, which are 3 gigawatts today in data centers, to 100 gigawatts in the next 5 years. That is going to require all the EPC contractors, and you have folks here who are those folks, so you must mingle with them, note them, connect with them, understand from them. Don't ask for a job. Ask for guidance. Okay? Yes.
So I would really love to know what skills, like extra skills we should develop to be
कोई
able
extra
to
skills नहीं
stand
चाहिए.
in that.
Foundation course पूरा किया है, मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग अच्छे से पढ़ा है,
हाँ.
क्योंकि वो टेस्ट करेंगे.
Okay, let me ask. What's your name? Bhavesh?
Bhaskar.
Bhaskar, what happens when you put diesel in a petrol engine?
Sir,
Mechanical engineer, जवाब दो.
So the first thing is that.
First thing नहीं, क्या होता है?
Sir वो spark
First
ही नहीं
thing
होगा.
नहीं, क्या है बताओ?
Spark ही नहीं होगा, जलेगा ही नहीं.
क्यों नहीं जलेगा?
Because डीजल है जो compression से जल जाता है, but for petrol.
उसका reason क्या है? There is something which is mechanical term for it. What is that?
Density, I would say.
No, it's not density. You understand the point? See what he
Yeah.
said, what we have been saying is, foundation strong rakho beta. If your foundations are strong, this looks like a very stupid question to ask. But when you're out there in the interview, of all the people, I'm sure mechanical engineers abhi Google search kar rahe honge ki kya hoga. You need to have skills, but if your foundation is strong and you understand, go back to what I think it was Milind who said, concepts clear hone chahiye. If your concepts are clear, you will definitely sail through. But don't worry about technology. अरे टेक्नोलॉजी आई, टेक्नोलॉजी चली गई. इंजीनियरिंग कौन से कॉलेज से किया वो भी नहीं फर्क पड़ेगा. I did it from KES इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज जो आज की डेट में एग्जिस्ट ही नहीं करता. वो शायद tier -1 में कंसिडर होता है अभी.
Does not matter, buddy.
It doesn't matter. So don't worry about it. Technology will come, but your foundational skills, जुड़े रहो, go deep, and you will thrive.
I'll just add here, since question is from mechanical engineering.
Yes, you are.
I'll take you back to 1999, you know, when I first came to know about AutoCAD. So maybe this generation you might not have, you know, used AutoCAD anytime. So that was release 14, AutoCAD, and that was like, you know, revolution during
The
our
crowd
times.
at the back is restless. If you have questions, happy to take them. If not, expect your support. If we can't do that, help yourself, please. This is only for you. Neither principal sir, neither Wilson Pinto sir, neither myself, neither the entire panel here have been here for the last 5 hours only to answer all your questions very honestly. What I expect from my fellow mates is respect, mutual, and courtesy. Cool? Continue, sorry.
So in 1999, there was AutoCAD R14. That was considered most advanced CAD software that time. Then came 2004, when we had all 3D models, SolidWorks, CATIA were there. 2020, all these years people used to, create two-dimensional drawings. You had to, give lot of instructions, lot of dimensioning, so many things. But in 2020 or even before that came something called as model-based definition. So now engineers don't prepare 2D drawings. You just give dimensions and all the critical requirements within 3D model itself. So the point I'm trying to make is, in 1999, mechanics or the basic concepts of mechanical engineering, stress, strain, were the same. 2026, today after 27 years, those concepts are still same. Now, what we need to do is, tools will keep changing every 5 years. That's the technological cycle. But what will never change is the basics. And what I find, I have conducted hundreds of interviews of mechanical engineers. What I find is people don't have basics right. They only talk about tools. So if you have to sustain for a long time, you need tools, I understand. But along with tools, you should always try to master the basics. So if I give a manual calculation nowadays, nobody is able to solve a simple stress strain calculation. That's the worst thing we can have. So continue with understanding your basics. And as the technology is increasing, we moved from normal 3D model to now advanced FEA things are coming up. So get familiar with what kind of FEA modules are happening. But again, don't boast that I know ANSYS. Don't boast that I know something Alice Dyna. You boast that I know how to interpret the results given by the FEA software. And that is where lies the actual expertise of mechanical engineers.
Does that answer your question, Bhaskar?
Yeah,
Are you
yeah.
satisfied?
Yeah.
Or no?
Just
Yeah,
one
I'm satisfied that.
Yeah, it's not even like 20 years. Like we still use Newtonian mechanics from like 300 years ago. We don't use quantum mechanics to design our phones, and so like again, just the same thing we are repeating again and again. The foundations are so important that like you need to focus on that more and not get swayed by whatever is happening currently.
So I have to work on my basics and make my foundation more stronger. Yeah.
Yes, and you still have time. You're in 3rd year, right?
Yeah.
See, engineering course is a 1-year course, expanded to 4 years because we want also want to have masti. Okay. हर साल में दो महीने 4 महीने तो तुमको छुट्टी होती है ना, right? You still have 1 full year. Okay, 1 year is enough to study engineering, and this has happened to you today. I want you to be confident 1.5 years from now, and come up with a proud news that अरे प्रतीक उस दिन जो पैनल हुआ था ना काम कर गया, मैंने इतना किया 1 साल में और हो गया. Let that magic happen, but it starts with your effort.
Thank you.
Okay, panelists, thank you so much for engaging and tolerating me as your moderator. Apologies if I may have erred. Folks, thank you so much for asking honest questions. We still have 3 of your colleagues who are recent graduates, who have their feet on the ground very close to where you are going to take off from. Okay, they are engineers, and 2 software engineers, 1 director, Shruti Shetty, director, Umang Dave, software development engineer, Kaivan Shah, software development engineer from Morgan Stanley. Okay, it's an MNC. They will answer your questions about anything and everything pertaining to this forum, and also about what's it like to be in the market 5 years down the line. Cool? Okay, sir. Kahan gaye? Oh, yeah. He needs a selfie with the panel. I think they have taken pictures. Shruti, Umang, the stage is yours. Thank you for waiting. Questions to be asked.
सर सर एक फोटो प्लीज मैम सबके साथ लेना
Can we have your attention, please? जली को आग कहते हैं, बुझी को राख कहते हैं, उस आग से जो बारूद निकले उसे इंजीनियर कहते हैं. So remember that.
And then the intro and then they start.
Because see, you don't want to wrap it up.
Okay.
Get them in first. Get them in first. These three
Okay.
folks. Let them talk to them and then.
Okay. Then just give us 2 minutes.
Thank you everyone for your thoughtful questions and active participation. We hope this interaction has helped clarify your ideas and given you valuable insights from our esteemed panelists. A special thanks to our respected panelists for patiently answering the questions and sharing their experiences, guidance, and perspective with us. Your valuable words will surely inspire the guide and students in their academic and professional journey. With that wonderful panel discussion, we conclude. We now open the mic to our SFIT alumni to share their thoughts and experience.
We welcome Mr. Kaiwan Shah, Ms. Shruti Shetty, and Mr. Umang Dave for the same. Thank you. We have now opened the stage for questions from any students that they may have. Please ask your questions.
Am I audible? Shruti, am I audible? Okay. The students are saying, shh. आपके लिए कर रहा हूँ यार. Shh. The students are saying that we know that Morgan Stanley has an internship program. Okay, no obligation, of course. You are one amongst us. What is the formal process to apply to that internship? That's the question number one.
Okay, hello. Am I audible? Yeah. So for my department, I'm currently working with Morgan
Hello.
Stanley as a director in CR.
Pratik sir, what we'll do is now we'll have a quick round of proper introduction and their experiences, how they got into Morgan Stanley, their first job, and then we'll take questions. Please, okay? So you can share your story, each one of you, maybe for 2 minutes, and then we'll definitely take the questions. Don't worry. We are not against your questions. If they don't answer, I will answer.
Okay. Yeah. So, hello. Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. I know everyone is so tired. I will just keep it short and complete this. So, standing here feels really surreal for me. As few years back, I was just sitting exactly right where many of you are sitting now. So thinking about task assignments and also about submissions. And we engineers always wait for that one magical message, submissions postponed, right? So my name is Shruti. I'm graduated from SFIT in 2017 batch in IT engineering. Today I'm working as a director in Morgan Stanley. Previously I had an opportunity to work with L&T Infotech, Bank of America, as well as KPMG. So while I was sitting in that classroom, becoming a director in multinational company like a investment bank was never my 5-year down the line plan. So at that time, my 5-year down the line plan was just to pass the semester and get those attendance and complete the projects. So instead of having some serious lecture over here, I will just try to connect with you. I will just tell you my journey, lessons learned from my journey. I wish when I was sitting there, काश कोई मेरे को ऐसा बोलता. So today's theme is like engineering 2.0, resilience and readiness in the age of AI. This is very true that when I was searching for a job and like I got placed with SFIT itself in L&T Infotech. During my career, the engineer meant for just writing code, fixing bugs and delivering features. But now, role has been evolved. So now they are looking for, the industry is looking for someone who designs scalable systems, understand problems, and also collaborate with the teams globally, and also a quick learner. So as the technology is getting evolved, so industry is asking for someone who can quickly learn few things, like new technologies. The one which you are currently using, right, framework or the technology, we must not be using down the 5 years down the line, I mean. So for example, when today's companies are looking for someone who is using AI, but the person, the graduate, should use the AI according to their, like the prompts they are giving to the AI. It should be very specific. You should be very careful while typing the prompts to the AI. So for example, AI is moving very fast. So like as AI is moving very fast, so engineers nowadays are also looking at the AI and they just express it like, oh wow, AI has just done my job faster than me. Oh, the good news is AI is not replacing engineers, but it is changing the way the engineers need to be good at. So for example, I will just tell you a small story. I went to the L&T Infotech as the first day of my job. There I felt like I am fully prepared to start my work over there because I had an engineering degree, and also I have passed my engineering exams, which really meant harder than the real life. So yeah, when I started over there, my manager assigned me one technical issue. At that time, I started digging the code. While digging the code, I felt I spent an hour over there. At that time, one of the senior manager came to me and said, "You are just looking at the code. You are not looking at the whole system." And from that moment, I started looking at the whole system, like system architecture and the cloud platform and how the services are connected with each other. So it was just a simple fix with the architecture, nothing to do with the code. So for today I just want to give 3 simple advice to you all. First, learn how to learn and learn how to unlearn. Technology is moving so fast that something you are working, like the programming language or the framework you are currently working, the 5 years down the line, it won't be there. So sometimes we just hold on doing the old way of work because we are comfortable with them. But we have to get evolved as the technology is getting evolved. We have to update ourselves, be curious to learn new things, explore new tools, and also keep yourself updated with the technologies. Okay, so with that, I just want to close this. Yeah, I just want to close this saying that as I got a privilege to stand here and share my journey with you, I am certain that many of you will return back sharing the same journey with next generation. All the very best to all of you for the journey ahead.
Hello, hi everyone. Yeah, myself Umang Dave. First of all, thank you Wilson sir and all the faculties who has allow us to come here and give us experience which we have worked on. So I will give in a short way. Like myself Umang Dave, I have total 8 years of experience and currently I am working in LTM, which is a LTM I entered before. Now it is a LTM, and I am 2018 pass out in comms branch. So this was a short I have given. So I think we can go to the next one. Yeah, we can go for the question.
Hello everyone. So my name is Kaivan. I'll keep my intro very short because I think सब लोग already थक चुके हैं. Everyone is pretty bored. I won't bore you much with all the guidance and stuff. I think काफी लोगों ने guidance दे दिया है. I'll just give a short introduction. So I am a 2022 graduate from SFIT. I started my journey with NetMets, which was my first company and one of the only product-based company that came to our campus during that placement scenario. And now I'm working with Morgan Stanley since the past 3 years. Nothing much, but I'll tell you that कि सबने guidance दिया हुआ है, but I think you all have next 6 months to prepare. And don't waste that opportunity. I think this is a good time that you should start creating your resumes. Make sure you have at least 500 to 1,000 connections on LinkedIn. यहाँ पे सबने बोला कि networking करना चाहिए, कोई ये नहीं बता रहा है कैसे करना है. So I will tell you just one thing कि go on, start searching all your alumni. I think Pratik already pointed out that we have a good list of alumni. I don't know how many of you know it. अपने website पे, if you go to SFIT website, you can see a list of all the alumni that have the offers from different companies from every year. If you just go them and search them on LinkedIn, they will definitely accept your connection request, and then you can ask them for guidance or maybe a referral as well. Referral भी दे देंगे यार. I don't think so it's that difficult to get one. but it completely depends on you, like how do you plan out your next 6 months. And I think that's going to be most important.
Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and experiences. We will now move on to the question and answer session, which gives the audience an opportunity to interact directly. If anyone has a question, please raise your hand. Kindly introduce yourself and keep the question brief so we can accommodate as many questions as possible. I already did see your hand, so can we have the mic, please?
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ashwin Vincent Kunsheri. What difficulties did you face in applying the job of Morgan Stanley or any other in your while you are doing the job? What difficulties you faced in applying a job mainly, other than CV making or technical skill part?
Hello. Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. So from the campus placement, also we faced a lot of challenges because many companies came, our interviews went well, we got shortlisted, but somehow, sometimes it happens like in HR round or some other technical round, interview, like we are not passed. Okay. So in that scenario, there were challenges. We worked on ourselves. We tried to prepare on interview and as well as the communication skills, soft skills. We worked very well on that so that we can look confident in front of an interviewer. As well as after a campus placement, when we are trying to switch companies, at that time as well, when we are applying, no response from them. Everything is proper. As per the JD, our CVs are looking proper. Everything is fine. But still, no response from them.
Yes.
Yeah, that happens, but keep on trying, keep on trying. As I think sir has also mentioned, like
Yes.
there is a black box. We don't know what is happening, but keep on trying yourself, work on yourself, try to build projects, showcase that, which will help you. You will stand out of the public. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Just to add on it, so when I was going through my placement journey, I'd applied for Morgan Stanley for 3 times. No time I faced the rejection. My resume was not even going to the HR team, I believe. Fast forward, when I started preparing well, I took a good depth analysis on my DSA, curated my resume, started putting my resume on resume screening websites. You already have an ATS score of your resume. So I don't know how many of you have actually tried and curated your resume based on that. That's one point. Second is actually LinkedIn. Your LinkedIn also has your ATS score. HR over there will actually go out and the first thing that they will do is go and check the LinkedIn of that particular profile. So I think both those points are very necessary, and only when you have a good score, I think you should start applying and start make changes firsthand, and then only it will help you to get forward to the interview process.
I also need to add one point. Sorry. Actually, in our time, that was not much challenges we have as per the current challenges which we have based on the AI and everything. I will tell you that still we don't get the AI things, tools and everything. We don't have the tools now. We are just using the tools, other tools. We haven't developed any tools yet. So we are just hyping the things that, oh, we are using the AI, we are building the application which is much faster and which will provide you the AI like easy way to use that our application, but actually we are just using the tools. So we are not focusing. So if you focus on that skills, how the AI is working, if you go to the deep down, how it is working, why we are using that, then it will be more easy for you to crack any interview. And I think that's it. Yeah, from my side.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I want to ask you something. You must be using AI in your work. If yes, then when do you know where to stop and how much to get your work from AI?
So recently, like all the companies have been asked to integrate with the GitHub Copilot. In my organization, it is GitHub Copilot, but there must be some other tools with the organization. But my point is to have the development in as a best practices or in a faster manner. That's the reason we are using it. We are giving the logic, we are giving a small prompts. We just cannot say directly create the app for me because it won't work as we need. We have to give our needs to that in a single line description or a paragraph of description what exactly we need. Then it will create. And there is a MD file also where we can post our instructions in a stepwise, like in a proper manner. So accordingly, yeah, it will get developed. If you just give a single line, then it won't work. You must have read one article, right? This cloud antrophic. Using Terraform, they tried to develop, and from AWS, whole data got deleted. It was a German person who tried it. Yeah. That is where the prompt comes into picture. You have to give a proper prompt, and it's a vocabulary and the English language, how you give a proper prompt to that, to understand.
Okay, thank you very much.
Hello. Just adding one point. Actually, our question was like where we need to stop that when we write that thing. So basically, when you write the code, okay, so you know exactly what the things are going in the code, the logic and everything. You just need to give the what you require based on your requirement. And after that requirement, which is complete by the any of the AI agent tool, then you have to debug that thing. Just don't depend on the like whatever the code is given by the AI. Because now recently, as she has mentioned that one of the case has happened that one of the guy has deleted everything from database, and because of that, that production was stopped. And so that is not the way to give the prompt. You just need to understand what your application is or what you have written, and then you give your requirement in the proper way. So that's a way you can get the proper code, and you don't have to write many things in the prompt to get the proper code. Yeah.
Due to the shortage of time, we will only have one more last question from the audience. Any other questions that you may have, you all can connect with them directly via LinkedIn or post session.
Sorry, actually I was want to give one answer regarding the black box, which one was specifying that why we are not getting the place. Currently we have the AI things is going on, and company don't have that much of the, like if I say the budget, okay. So they just put the opening in the LinkedIn and Naukri.com to show that they have many openings. So because of that, they will going to get the clients. Like we are hiring, host job post. So you think that, okay, I have applied that thing, my CV is good, resume is good, I have all the skills. Okay, then after interviewing technical round 1, 2, why I'm not getting placed? So this is the reason. So they are just like if I say they're advertising their company, like we have many openings, and like client will know, okay, they have many openings, so because of that they have like many like clients will going to come to, so that's the hype the thing is going on. So don't think about what your skills, I don't know everything. You have the skills, but the thing is some hype is going on because of the AI and everything. So once this is stable, then you will going to get easily what you will you want to achieve it. So that's all. Let's take at the black box.
Kaivan, Umang and Shruti. Pinto sir, now we can answer same question. You stopped me from asking that question last time. Students are asking. Internships in Morgan Stanley, what is the process? If you could guide. If you know, no obligations. If you don't know, then you are taking the responsibility of knowing the process and letting the students know.
Actually, I am working with wealth management in Morgan Stanley in CRM department under that. So I am not having, I don't know the process of internship currently, but I will surely get it from someone and update you.
That's a positive step. Thank you.
So I'll just guide you on two simple things. Morgan Stanley has a spring analyst program and a fall internship program. So there are two programs that run on a yearly basis. Now the process is that if you go to the careers website, there's a section for students. You can go over there, find a particular program which matches your profile and apply for it. There is a referral portal as well, which is separate for students rather than experienced professionals, that anyone can guide you and refer you as well.
Okay.
So one more important thing is that with respect to internships, it is not even country focused. So you can go out there and apply to a job which is there in Hong Kong and get a chance to get placed over there. But of course, the budget, the HR and already things will be there, but it will depend on how strong your resume is and whether you have gone through a referral process. So 3 points I just mentioned. There's a spring analyst program, there's a fall internship program, and there's a section on the careers website, and there's also a referral portal separately for internships. So if anyone is reaching out, make sure that your resume is very well matched. You can upload the resume on the careers portal to check what is your score and how well it matches to the skills.
Thank you, Kaivan. I hope the students have listened to this, what you just mentioned. To me, it seems like a door of opportunity. Whether we take it or not, it's up to us. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for your thoughtful questions and active participation. We would also like to thank our alumni for your valuable insights.
Please give them a huge round of applause. Thank you so much. You may be seated. I would like to take a moment to give a special thank you to our moderator, Mr. Prateek Mehta. As we now come to the end of this insightful session, it is time to express our gratitude to all those who made this session possible. For the vote of thanks, I would now like to invite our respected Head of Training and Placement, Mr. Wilson Pinto, whose continuous efforts and dedication play a vital role in creating opportunities for students and strengthening the connection between academia and industry. May I request Mr. Wilson Pinto to kindly come forward and deliver the vote of thanks. Please give him a huge round of applause.
Good afternoon, guys. Good afternoon, I said. Can you hear? Audible? Very nice. It is a great privilege and honor to stand over here and propose the vote of thanks. I'll go in the reverse order, okay? The most important people who have been here are the guys who are sitting at the back, okay? Without whom this session will not have any meaning. Because we are talking about building careers, not jobs. And to build jobs, it's very easy. To get job, it's a transaction. You go to a placement agency, you pay something, and you get a job. To build a career, you have to think long term. Okay? So the purpose of having this whole event was to give insights on what is required for a long-term career. You look at Milind sir, you look at Ravi Patil sir, what they talked about was basic concept, whether it's physics, maths, anything, okay? So, if you want to build a great career, please ensure this message that the panel members, the speakers have given to you, and if you absorbed it correctly, then this event becomes meaningful, okay? So, a big thank you to all the student volunteers and the students who are attending this session. Then we go back to the speakers and other people, okay? So we had approached more than 150 dignitaries from industry and academia to come over here and talk to our students, out of which 29 had confirmed. The list I will read out those who didn't come also, because they didn't come because of certain exigencies happening over their office time or at the residence. So Aditi Shah, key account manager of Kelnova, she had confirmed. Then we had Gitika Verma, our own alumni, almost 10 years into Morgan Stanley. She's a director over there. She had confirmed because of some emergency she was not able to come. We thank her also. Bhushan Kulkarni, head HR from Tata Motors. He had confirmed, but because of some compulsions at Pune, he was not able to join today. Then we had Tracy Jackeries, Head Learning and Development of Tata Technologies. She again is from Pune. Because of some emergency, could not come. Then we had Mahesh Koch, General Manager of Neon Laboratories. Then we had Uma Shankar Das, co-founder CTO of Food Fox Technology. Then Geeta Menon, Head HR, 5 Paisa. And some more who had confirmed who couldn't come was Michelle Menenges, Ashish Sau, Anand Dhruv, and Dr. Suresh Shan. Okay? So a big thank you to all those guys also who had promised to come, and they have given a commitment that in future they will come and address the students. Okay? Then a big thank you to Mr. Milind Kamble, because without whom the session would not have happened. He was the first one to give a commitment, and a big guy and a very humble person. Whatever number of times I've met him, he's down to earth, very respectful to every person that approaches to him. A big thank you to him. Then Ravi Appaturi, Sandhya Mohanan, Pratik Mehta, last minute introduction into the panel moderation. He was always on the panel, but we gave him the additional response because we had too many people, and if I had sat over there, it would have been one more person. So we shifted. So I thank him to accepting that responsibility at the last minute. And he has been an advocate on the other side. I thought he will be on this side. So big thank you for supporting the students in their questions. Then Vaibhav Ganpule, brilliant, Ashish Pedave, Archana Randave, Shika Bhatnagar, Mangesh Pandit, Ankush Menad, Shruti Shetty, Umang Dave, Kaivansha. And Kaivansha was in my placement team in 2022. And he happens to be from EXCC background. Ankush Mehnat is from mechanical engineering background, and he's a CTO of a IT firm. So the branches don't matter, whether you're from mechanical, whether you're electronics, electrical, it does not matter because you're here to solve problems. Okay? A big thank you to all these speakers and panelists who came and attended. Thank you to the supporting college like Don Bosco Institute of Technology, Bharat Bhandari sir, Xavier's Naveen Kukreja sir, Romero D'Souza from St. John, Principal of Father and Bandra College, Dr. Prabhu, and then our own management committee consisting of Brother Shantilal, who has agreed to wholeheartedly support this event, Dr. Deepak Jaiswal sir, who has been continuously guiding this event, having multiple meetings, ensuring that we don't fall, we don't make mistake, we don't flounder. Okay? Thanks Vidisha ma'am also for a wonderful session, giving a bright perspective about what St. Francis is about. Then there are a lot of other organizing team members, Dr. Anjali ma'am, Chinmay ma'am, Dr. Vandana ma'am, Pratik sir, and all others. Please do not feel excluded if I don't take your names, because it will be difficult to take all the names because we are falling short of time. Thank you once again, each and every one, for the support that you have extended to this event. The HODs, all of them, right? Namely, Dr. Dakshata Panchal, Dr. Prachi Raut, Dr. Deepa Panakkal, then Megha Fernandez, Dr. Sunil Pansare, sir, I don't see him here, Dr. Kevin Narona, Dr. Khoth, have I missed out anyone? Dr. Nitika Rai, Dr. Joanne Gomes. If I miss out anyone, it is not intent, it is an error of judgment. Okay? So thank you very much. God bless you. Have a wonderful day.